What?
And I'm going to give you one opportunity because we're friends.
Winner! Yeah, F him. They went from loving this guy, best move ever, to hating him.
There's nowhere for him to go. I think there's one place.
You can't do that in the national team.
Do you even know what you're talking about?
Successful and sexy? No. It wasn't aggravating at times? Yes.
Sorry,
That's not very fair.
It's not about being fair.
Welcome to the greatest soccer show ever.
All Man United fans live in the past.
Welcome to the weekly recap extravaganza from We Are Soccer. How you doing, guys? All right. You know, my wife came to me today and she said, "You doing your show tonight?" Well, the season's kind of ended last week. There can't be that much to talk about, right? Oh, my word. Could she have not been more wrong? Unbelievable. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? All right, where do we start? Football retires from Zlatan. Yes, I said that right. Zlatan is retiring from the beautiful game. We'll get into that. Now, my transfer predictions have been thrown out the window because Benzema has accepted a bag full of cash from Saudi Arabia. He is off to join the prestigious league in Saudi Arabia. No, he is joining the league. It is not prestigious. He is joining it for a bag of cash. I think it's too early. We'll talk about that. Champions League final Saturday. We're talking that. We're talking FA Cup, Man City. We're talking 7v7. We're talking U20 World Cup. We're talking Harry Kane. Where's he going? We're talking Messi being booed. Boo to you, PSG fans. Boo to you. Who boos the greatest soccer player of all time? Boo to you, people. All right, we've got MLS. We got some Bundesliga. We have got so much to talk about today. I'm excited. There is more soccer than if we were in mid-season. It's incredible. All right. The boys at the kids' table are in front of me. They are waiting to get at this. Boys, Brooks, Nate, gentlemen, how are you? How are you doing?
I live in a pool of deep, dark sadness.
What? How can this
endless
be?
abyss of sorrow that has engulfed my life. But before I get to that, off to my left, he's more happier than a sad Nate when sad on a happy Nate. He is. I can't do this anymore.
No.
Oh,
It's
why?
just too much. It's just too. Why? Why? Because the greatest has decided not to play anymore.
That's
And I see no purpose of watching the game.
Wow.
I'm done. I'm going to move on to pickleball.
Even if Stuttgart wins Monday?
I don't care.
Oh, wow.
I'm moving on to pickleball.
Wow.
All right.
Interesting.
You're gonna be.
Hold on.
Hell,
Wait. Time
Are you
out.
kidding
Even though I'm
me?
sad. Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's single, looking to mingle. Ladies, hide your, he's, digits.
Brooks,
He's
he's here. Yeah,
big
the
in
great
India.
Brooks
if you-
Junior.
if
Yep.
Indian women, if you need an American passport, Brooks is your guy.
Yep,
Blah
yep.
blah blah.
You
Hey, it's Brooks Lambier Jr. Always do it twice.
Always do it twice. Yep.
Wow.
Onwards.
Anyways, hey,
This is interesting.
had to wrap it up.
I feel cheated.
Well, it's Zlatan's day.
As cheated as Zlatan retiring before the age of 52.
Yes.
How dare you?
I know.
So let's jump in. Let's talk Zlatan. Let's get there. He's 41. It was
He's going to be
reported-
42 in October, actually.
Yes, it was reported that he would be leaving AC Milan as the season comes to a close. They played their last game today. AC Milan did win 3-1. Zlatan asked to talk afterwards, and sure enough, he did say that he is now retiring from the game of soccer. And they held up AC Milan. The fans held up, instead of it saying goodbye, God-bye. The man is a god in the sport, and we know it. He has accomplished more than I think most people really realize. Let me see if I can find. It is true the big Swede is hanging up his boots. He's played for LA Galaxy, Man United, Inter Milan, Juventus, Barcelona, Ajax, AC Milan, and won over 30 trophies in his career. The man is a legend within the game. Is he not, boys?
It's not so much even his playing career that he, made him a legend. It's because, you could argue, well, Messi's better than him, and okay, yeah, sure, and Ronaldo maybe's better. Okay, maybe, and they play different positions, so it's hard to tell. But and you can go, well, he hasn't won the World Cup. Okay, sure, and he hasn't won ever a Champions League. Okay, sure, he won other European trophies, but those two always alluded to him. But the fact is, he's a once in a lifetime personality that I don't think can be replicated because it was so genuine and true, and it did add flavor to any game or anything that he was actually at.
Trying to compare like what like is he like a Deion Sanders type of guy? Would you compare him to?
He
Yeah.
was
An American
his,
athlete,
His
yeah.
idol was Muhammad Ali. And
Yeah.
if you could compare him to somebody, I'd say he was definitely compared to, or he would compare himself or wanted to say he wanted to be like Muhammad Ali, at least when he talked and did some of the interviews he did.
Yeah.
You know, and he had a career that, you know, was marred in some things here and there, controversy, you know, Onyewu being one of them at AC Milan. I guess they got into a big tiff and stuff like that. But a lot
Oh,
of
his LA Galaxy teammates
Yeah,
that he couldn't pronounce. He couldn't remember their names.
Well, a lot of that though, also if you look at him and where he came from and his background, you know, basically his dad came from war-torn Bosnia, and they like flew into Sweden as, you know, refugees. You know, his parents separated. He lived with his mother, quasi-abusive. Had to then go to his father. You know, talked often about not being able to make ends meet, not, you know, living a life of, you know, hunger, actually almost quit playing soccer.
He did.
At an early age, just and went on, and it took a coach over at was it Malmo to beg him to stay on. His
first club.
And yeah, it just he came from a very hard upbringing, which made him have to, I think, act in a certain way that was genuine and pure, but coming from that hard upbringing, if that makes sense.
I think he always knew how to have fun. I mean, I know guys that knew him when his time in MLS, you know, guys that knew like Bastian Schweinsteiger and how he just kind of interact with guys and joke around with the guys that come over to Europe to MLS. And yeah, I mean, you know, I'm sure with the LA Galaxy shenanigans, it was probably all jokes, but unfortunately the American guys just didn't find it funny.
Yep.
Because they don't really have a sense of humor. A lot of Americans, maybe like understand Zlatan's humor. You know, whenever in Perry Kitchen you call him Kevin, you know, just because you just wanted to call him Kevin. You know, but like also a lot of the stuff that was talked about with LA Galaxy is him wanting more from his teammates so they could be more competitive, and that's the one thing I think a lot of Americans don't understand is the competitiveness, and go back to what Nate said, just how he grew up and how he had to fight for everything, and not a lot of people don't understand that.
I think it actually, him coming to the LA Galaxy and the MLS shed a lot of light on the MLS. He said, you know, this isn't the most skillful league in the world. It's very athletic, but it's just not the most skillful league in the world. I don't think he enjoyed his time here as much as we had hoped he would. He left after 2 years at the Galaxy and went to AC Milan, where he struggled with injuries. Yep. But you guys are right. One of the biggest personalities in the sport we've seen. I mean, we haven't seen a personality like this since, I would say, probably someone like Eric Cantona. But just really good for the game and what he brings to the game. And obviously, they've had characters based off of him, like Zava in Ted Lasso. So it is a shame to see him retire. I honestly had it on our rundown sheet that I started yesterday. I said, where is he going to end up? He's going to leave AC Milan.
I was hoping he'd go back to MLS.
I was going to put money on it. There's no way that was going to happen. I just don't think he wanted to come back here. But hey, you can dream, right? You wanted it, but it's not. It was all right. So I do want to ask you boys, and everybody listening and watching us, listen if you're watching and listening to us, please. Answer this question. What is next for Zlatan? He has too big of a personality. He loves the atmosphere. Movies. What is he going to do? Is he going to own a club? He's not going into coaching. I don't see that. Movies. Is he going to go in? Yeah, I would say movies and commercials and really do that. Eric Cantona.
Hold on. You say
doesn't he like Taekwondo or karate or something?
He does. Yeah.
He'll teach that.
You know, you said you couldn't see him into coaching. I don't know. I actually could see him into coaching and be able to manage personalities because he thinks he's bigger than them. I think you put him in check real quick.
Like Thierry Henry.
Can I give you? We're not going to the Thierry Henry thing. Oh my word!
Well, like a Thierry Henry, but actually good at coaching, maybe.
Can I give you an example, or can I give you a reason why I don't think he goes into coaching? He does not like losing. So if he looks around at some of the greats that we'll call them greats who've recently gone into coaching, just off the top of my head, we've got Lampard, Gerrard. We'll put Zinedine Zidane in there. only one has been successful because he got hired by the big clubs and did very well was Zinedine Zidane. Gerrard failed. Lampard failed. These are players who, not on Zlatan's personality level, but on his playing level, and has failed, and they're ruined, not their playing career, but overall the way we look at them. I don't think he wants his legend status ruined like that. I could see him going and owning a club. I can see him. That's about it. But Nate, I think you hit it on the head. I think he goes into movies. I think because when he was here in LA, he did do a kids show. He wrote it, from what I understand.
Yeah.
I think he goes into that.
So he's the next Arnold Schwarzenegger.
So Sterling Wilson actually just piped in. He goes, Zlatan is the next James Bond villain, and he wins.
Ooh, that's a good call right there. I love that. Because you know what? Zlatan does not lose.
The next Bachelor, and he chooses himself.
Who put that?
Oh,
Sterling.
Wilson again. He's coming.
Oh,
in
he's
hot
coming
takes.
up with some
Love
good
it.
ones
Wow.
today. Oh, I love that.
I think he's the new. If he does movies, he's the new action guy. Yeah, he's like the next like Arnold Schwarzenegger, where he's just killing people left and right.
Is he gonna have to like gain some muscle?
He already has some. He's already pretty muscular, Zlatan.
Oh, yeah, he's pretty big.
Brooks, he
Anyways.
looks like you. He's not pretty muscular. You're looking to your right and telling me he's pretty muscular. I'm going to stare at you like, what?
So he's
Well,
not.
I got
What do you
nothing. I
consider
got
you,
nothing. I got
Schwarzenegger?
nothing.
Rock.
That's The Rock.
Zlatan against The Rock
Yeah.
in some movie, like hero villain
The
type
Rock
of thing.
would eat him.
Zlatan, Fast and the Furious 25.
Zlatan never loses. I do. Listen, I got to say that no matter what
Die Hard
Zlatan
6.
goes into, he is going to succeed. The man will succeed. I do not see him going into
Taken.
bad business ventures, into anything where he fails.
Zlatan kills Liam Neeson.
The
Rambo
man
5.
wins.
Rambo 5. Zlatan's revenge. He
Ra-
returns to Bosnia to take them over.
Creed 5. Creed versus Zlatan.
Yeah. Well, I like the premise of my Rambo 5. Zlatan turns to Bosnia and separates Bosnia. And was it Bosnia? What's the? It's not just Bosnia when they play soccer. It's Bosnia and
Herzegovina.
Herzegovina.
Yeah.
He frees Bosnia from Herzegovina.
Maybe he'll get his own like show on Amazon Prime. It's like Jack Ryan be Zlatan.
I can see the messages right now. Nate, Bosnia and Herzegovina have nothing to do with it on a political scale. No, in my mind, they're two
In your
countries.
mind, they do.
Yeah.
Would you be surprised if it came out in the next couple of weeks that he has signed a deal with Amazon or Apple or anybody for a show or a movie?
No. But if I was a marketing guy, I'd be blowing his phone up. Like if I was Nike or any of these guys to go, all right, how can I get you to be a full-time sponsor to do whatever?
Yeah.
So Zlatan, if you're looking for, a group to sponsor, a charity case. By the way, he's
Can
actually
we hire him
big
at U.S. Soccer?
Hold on, he's actually
good
big,
Lord.
big in charity. He
is.
He donated like 400,000 to that Swedish disability team, and he's done a lot for charity, a lot for World Hunger.
Yep.
So speaking of not so much World Hunger, but Craig's hungry because he hasn't bought anything in his fridge.
I'm always hungry.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to like sponsor us, be our sponsor, Zlatan.
Yes.
We will let you do that.
I
Zlatan.
think.
Yes.
Well, hold on. We'll think about it. We'll consider it. We'll have to have a meeting.
We'll definitely have a meeting over some beers that we've got from Dog and Pony Show Brewing.
We'll have to have a talk.
Yep.
There's some hoops you might have to jump through. We'll let you know when we're available for a Zoom call.
All right, so Zlatan has retired from football. It is
Play
a
hard.
shame. This is a day we will never forget. Zlatan, what a career. Before we go any further, I do want to say a big thank you to some of our friends and our partners. A big thank you to Soccer World. For all your soccer gear needs, visit soccerworld.net. Or if you are based here in Metro Detroit like us, they have 3 locations, Canton, Rochester, and Brighton. Soccer World, one of the best run soccer facilities and stores I've ever seen. Also, big thank you to Next Level Training, Aaron Bird and his guys. Next Level Training, the best trainers in the country. If your kids are finishing up their youth season right now, do not let them get bored this summer. Sign them up for the Next Level training camps. My kids are going to the camps. They're in Wixom. They're in Rochester. They're all over southern Michigan here, Metro Detroit, Michigan. Sign your kids up for the camps. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. This will be the third year in a row my kids have gone. They are already looking forward to it. I know Nate has his kids signed up as well. Next level training camps. Get there. Big thank you to Dog and Pony Show Brewing. They provide us the beers we drink here on We Are Soccer. And we will be out there next Saturday for the Champions League final. Dog and Pony Show Brewing in Oak Park. I was there the other night. They let me get behind the bar and pull some beers. Oh, that was a mistake, guys. I got drunk and I had to take an Uber home because I could not stop drinking the delicious beers at Dog and Pony Show Brewing.
Dear God, how much
did?
was that Uber?
When were you there?
I forgot to tell you guys I was going. My apologies. It was kind of like a last-minute thing.
Wow.
You know,
it happened.
Did you have the blueberry marshmallow one?
They didn't have it.
the selective.
Oh no!
I was really disappointed, and then I tried another beer and went, I forgot all about that one. Yeah.
Selective
Dear
memory.
gosh,
of,
when
stuff
did
that
you
goes
go?
on.
I know. I took my brother there for his
Oh.
birthday on Friday night. I did get behind the bar and pull some beers. So anyway,
Glenn?
no, my other brother Kyle.
Kyle, okay.
Yeah, Kyle. So happy birthday, Kyle. But please, next Saturday, Champions League final. It's a 10th of June, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time kickoff. We will be there. We are doing a watch party. Come and join us as Man City take on Inter Milan, the UCL final. It should be a good one. A big thank you as well to another one of our partners, the Michigan Jaguars. Tryouts are coming up next week, the 10th and 11th. Get your kid ready. Get them out to open training for the Michigan Jags this week. Get out there. Take a look at the club if you don't know much about it. Visit them at MichiganJaguarsFC.com. Trust me, a great club. Nate's kids play for them. My kids play for them. We love the Michigan Jags. All right, boys, listen. We know the big news today, as we talked about, Zlatan is retiring. But before that news broke, we all woke up to news that the rumors are true. Karim Benzema is leaving Real Madrid. And he is heading...
to MLS.
Nope.
Ah.
Because you know what? The
The
MLS...
Swedish A-League.
Nope. Because no one...
Hold on.
J-League.
Let me keep going. What?
J-League.
The
J-League.
J-League in Australia.
J-League?
That
No,
was
that's
on his list.
That's in Japan.
J-League.
There's also the J-League in Japan, yes. I think you may be right. Maybe it's the A-League in Australia. Anyway.
Good
That
try.
would actually
That was
make
on his
more
list.
sense.
The Japanese league was on his list, maybe like 9th or 10th. But Nate, where else do you think he was heading?
I was really pulling for
Scottish League?
Damn it, where's that amount? Scottish Premier League?
Yeah.
USL 1.
USL 1?
I thought he could probably cut it there, yeah.
DC. FC. Imagine that.
On division. That's one below it.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Nope, he is heading for the riches and the sun of Saudi Arabia.
Didn't he talk to Ronaldo?
He should have. He absolutely should have, because you know what? They played together at Real Madrid, but the rumors are now that Ronaldo is happy and staying. I'm guessing because they threw more money at him. All right, Karim Benzema
Or they
is
have his
Real
family
Madrid's
hostage.
second highest goal scorer of all time. He has won a joint record 25 trophies with the club, including 5 Champions Leagues and 4 La Ligas, as well as the 2022 Ballon d'Or. His 25 trophies at the club, a record shared with Marcelo, consists of 4 La Ligas, 5 Champions League, 3 Copa del Rey, 4 Spanish Super Copas, 4 UEFA Super Cups, and 5 Club World Cups. The man has done it all. He is now filling his pockets with money as he heads to join, I wrote it down, Al Ittihad, the powerhouse. The powerhouse
Is that
team
one
of
that won
Al
the league?
Ittihad. What?
Did they win the league? They beat Al Nassr, didn't they?
Who fucking knows that?
Hey, when are they going to
All I know is Ronaldo didn't win the league.
No, but is now Benzema joining the league, Brooks, is that going to make you watch this league?
No.
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 When are they
But I know the Saudi Arabian oil people are put like billions of dollars because they want to get like top 10 players in the world to play in that league.
But spending millions or close to billions now on 37-year-old Ronaldo, almost 35-year-old Benzema, 35-year-old Messi, that's not going to change the league.
No, I see nothing to go wrong with this. Remember when China did this and it took off really well?
Yeah.
Wait.
Good bit of business.
Sterling
Good bit of
Wilson.
business.
I don't think this applies to more teams than this, but Sterling Wilson, if you're okay in Saudi Arabia, are you automatically on Newcastle's squad?
Ooh.
I think that goes for a few other teams around in the EPL. So that technically goes for Man City as well because they're
And you
oil
can-
money.
And you can opt into PSG every now and then.
Yes, exactly.
Hey,
So
You brought up PSG. I do want to say we'll get back to this. I do want to talk about the Benzema thing, but did you hear the rumors about Julian Nagelsmann heading to PSG?
I did.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. We'll get back to that. So Karim Benzema has officially parted ways with Real Madrid. They tied today. He put a penalty in the back of the net in his final game at Real Madrid. They gave him the send-off where they toss him in the air and catch him and toss him in the air and catch him. I put the camera back, sorry. Listen, I thought after the 2 to 3 years he's had, I thought he had 2 more years at Real Madrid left. I really thought he was going to stick around for another year, 2 years. But in all honesty, he just wants the cash.
Sold out.
Brooks, he did. He sold out. I'm more disappointed in him than I would be if Messi took the cash right now. I think Messi's got another year to maybe. But Benzema's been putting the ball in the back of the net, won the 22 Ballon d'Or. I think he really does have another year or two at the top level. Messi, I'm a little worried about.
I think he decided to go and build and start a league. It has nothing to do with money.
You think it's not to do with money?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Cool.
You can't even say that with a straight face.
And also, I'm buying stocks and bridges in North Dakota.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So the funny thing was, Nate, before you arrived at the studio today, Brooks and I were having a discussion.
Gotta throw that jab in there, don't you?
Yeah,
all right, cool.
You only got here a little earlier. You could
all
partake.
right,
Yeah,
yeah,
you
okay,
get here earlier,
yeah,
you get to be part of these discussions.
Yeah,
man.
and then you get invited to the bar afterwards.
Yeah. Wait, no.
You're
we're
not going, are you?
Not today.
I hate you.
Not today. So
Worst day ever.
I did tell Brooks that, listen, I'm not super surprised that he took it. I'm a little surprised that Benzema took the money now to jump to the league. Like I said, I think he's got another year or two left. But I'm not surprised because he doesn't have quite the morals that I all think hope he would have because he has had some issues in the past. I don't want to use the term he got off because in this context it's bad. Yeah. See, you knew.
Giggity.
You knew where I was going. He got in legal trouble for soliciting a prostitute with some other players they figured out she was underage. I believe he was freed of the charges on a technicality. I'd have to go back. I kind of avoid
Technicality being he's a good player.
technicality being he paid someone off.
A lot of money.
Yeah. He does. He is not married, so he did not do whatever.
Not cheat.
But
It's
he
an
did.
underage girl.
It was an underage.
Yes, that's
young
pretty
lady.
bad.
I'd rather have him be married and then cheat with an of age girl.
Did he not record it, Nate? Wasn't there something like him and whatever 2 dudes or
I think
players?
that's how they call it.
I believe they recorded it.
Yeah.
He does not have quite the high moral standards that we all hope our heroes would have.
Philip chimed in, only 15s for Big Boy Benz.
Yep, that sounds right. Yep, that's right. Oh, Philip's back. I love when he joins in the chat. Welcome back,
He's
my
been
friend.
joining in.
I love it.
Him, Ben, and Sterling have been going at the chat
So
here.
I'm not surprised that he did take the money, the oil money, as we'll call it. Again, I just thought he had a year or 2 left. I thought with Jude Bellingham coming to Real Madrid, it would reinvigorate.
Why are you surprised he took the money? Why do you say Messi?
I thought because he has been playing at such a high level for the past year.
I think he probably felt like he
I think
'cause
Real
he had
Madrid can go on to win another Champions League next year.
felt like
Yeah, but
he
he's
was.
already done it, so what?
I know.
He's
I
already
know.
done it.
But the money's going to be there in a year or two.
I feel like he
But
was
does he
like,
wanna
I
play
didn't
in a year
get.
or two?
He was probably like, I didn't get paid a lot because I had to sit by Ronaldo a lot. So he's like, I want my big payday, and that's what he's doing.
I'm not really surprised either. I'm not with his age.
I don't know why you say you're like Messi wants to get paid. What? How much more money does he have to make?
So hold on.
Between his sponsorships and what he's
Well,
gotten from
250.
Barcelona and everyone,
250.
he makes more than that.
He needs an additional 250.
That's what he learned for half a year.
Yeah. No, $2.50.
Oh,
That's why, like, everyone's like, he wants the money. I don't think he wants the money, Messi. I think he's
Everybody-
Gonna come, I think
Brooks,
he's going to come to MLS.
Everybody's got a number.
Yeah, I don't think he
Brooks,
does.
If I paid you $100 right now, would you eat your shoe? No?
Not for $100.
$500?
I'd do it for $5.
Yeah, I know your number's very
Right.
low.
Oh, my number's so low.
You're
If
a
I-
cheap date there.
Yeah,
If
you
I
don't even. It's
broke
not
out-
even a challenge. If Craig was like, "Hey, I'll remember how I said I wasn't gonna go to the bar? I'll actually go to the bar, drive through the parking lot." I'd be like, "All right, we're talking now."
Yeah. But Brooks, if I gave you $500, would you take a bite of your shoe right now?
Probably not for that.
What about $1,000?
Why are we playing this game?
How much would it take for you?
I'm not going to eat my shoe.
$10,000?
It's gonna be hard.
If I said I've got $10,000 cash right now, would you take a bite of your shoe?
Wait, turn it around on him, Brooks. Hold on.
Yeah.
If I had $10,000 right now, would you wear my Man United jersey?
Nope.
If I had $15,000, would you wear my Man United jersey? By the way, we all know that's a lie. If I had $15,000, slapped it on the table right now, and said, wear this shirt for like 5 seconds, you would 100% wear it. There's not a person on this planet
No
that
pictures.
would be like, no, take that, what we view as a pretty large sum of cash that I literally could win in 1 minute. I have to go explain to my wife why I snubbed up 14,000 because I'm going to keep 1,000 for myself. why I snubbed up 14,000. You only gave me 14,000. I thought I heard 15. It was only 14.
My wife does not watch this show, so no, never.
Facebook would tell you different, sir.
Yes. Philip Hernandez goes, how much for Nate to wear a City shirt?
Ooh.
Whoa.
Oh. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's see how we can. How long do I have to say no to you guys? Stop driving up the numbers.
I think we shouldn't play this game because he's going to say no for a very long time.
It's just like, all right. So anyway, back to the point. Everybody's got their number. So Ronaldo's number was 200 million a year, right? 197 million a year was the actual number. The number they're offering Messi is 400 million per year, I believe. So everybody's got their number. Yeah. Everybody's got their number. He doesn't need the money. No. Messi doesn't need the money. But someone comes to him and says, I'm going to give you $400 million to play for the year. I mean, that's stupid money to turn down. You can change not only your grandkids,
like that,
your great-grandkids' lives. You can make a real difference.
But he's already done that.
I don't know what he spent his money on. I don't know how much.
He's already done that within his career.
Hold on. I will say Sadio Mane takes his money and he goes and builds schools and churches. So maybe Messi wants more money so he can.
I don't know how taxes work in Europe, but I'm sure you could probably write those off.
Everybody's got their number.
Hold on. Yeah. Let's look at two of the same players. Okay. You have Harry Kane. I'm telling you, there's no amount of money that would keep him on Tottenham because
no amount of money. Excuse me, say again.
There's no amount of money that he would stay at Tottenham for because he wants to go win something before he's done. Because he's nearing that age.
Correct.
And you have Benzema, same position, who's done everything.
He's won 25 trophies.
There is nothing more that you can give this guy. He has got it all.
Yep.
And so at this point,
he's won a World Cup. You know, he's won everything he can.
If he's looking, going, you know what? I'm exhausted. His age, you got to take that. I'm done. I don't want to do. I don't see myself doing this for a few more years. I'm going to now spend the last 2 years making a cajillion dollars, still playing the game I love, but I'm going to take the money and run. I actually don't really blame him. Versus a Kane who's similar situation. I only got 2 more years left.
He wants to win.
I need to win now.
Yep.
I'm going to. So as you look at it like that, it's two similar guys, same positions basically, winding it down, making two different choices based on
the two opposite ends of the spectrum.
Right, but based on where their careers have taken them, if you will.
So the funny thing is that kind of leads into how Karim Benzema taking the money from Saudi Arabia has now ruined my transfer predictions because I was predicting. I didn't see him leaving. I was predicting Harry Kane to not stay in England because English clubs would have to pay extra money to get him because Tottenham don't want to sell him internally in the country. But selling him externally to Bayern Munich, who they're not going to be playing against anytime soon,
I don't think
would
he's
be
going
fine.
to Bayern Munich.
I thought he was going to be going to Bayern Munich. That was my prediction. I've said it for the last several months. Harry Kane to Bayern Munich. Now that is out the window. Is absolutely out the window because guess where he's going now? He will be in the white of Los Blancos at Real Madrid. He is the perfect replacement for Karim Benzema. Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt.
Kai Havertz replaces Hazard, who never played.
Right.
But Kai Havertz will actually
Jude
play.
Bellingham going there, Jude Bellingham going to Real Madrid, and now Harry Kane. I mean, Jude Bellingham's going, I've already signed. Come with me. Come join me at Real Madrid. We are going to the Champions League. We are going to put up big scores. We can do this together. So my prediction of Harry Kane to Bayern Munich, scratch it, not happening.
I can tell you that
Los
that
Blancos.
prediction of Harry Kane to Bayern Munich went out the door when they fired their board.
Yep. Correct.
They went out the door when they fired their board.
Correct, because Tuchel wants to do what he wants to do now.
And Tuchel has another forward that he wants to get.
Understood.
the guy-
Understood. Nobody saw that
Yes,
coming last
from
week when that
Juventus.
happened. Nobody saw them firing the board when that happened.
And I will
Absolutely.
say
I still
whether-
think there was a small possibility, but now that Real Madrid has come calling,
So
see ya.
I don't know
Here
if
he comes.
Madrid has come calling or not. That'll be, I think, dependent on what type of forward they want to get, because there are a few out there.
Yep.
So
Oh, yeah.
I think it boils down to, just like when all the rumors were there and active for Munich, I think again it boils down to of what Harry Kane wants to do, not just win trophies, but does he want to stay in England or does he want to go away? I think it's a harder move than we're putting it on for a English player to go overseas. It doesn't happen at his age. It doesn't happen a lot. It doesn't.
There have not been a ton of star English players that have made the moves. I could probably count on one hand, the star English players that have made the move in the past 10 years.
And
Outside of England?
I would argue
Top English players to go outside and play of England because they all want to play in England. It's the best league in the world.
I would also
with almost the most money.
I would
besides
also argue that Kai Havertz plays way more similar than Benzema.
Who would you rather have? Benzema?
That's
Oh,
not
excuse
what
me,
I'm
Kai
saying.
Havertz
That's not
or
what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
So I don't see
saying-
where we're going with that.
I'm saying Kai Havertz, who Madrid is actively going after with Chelsea, plays similar role or more closer to the same role as Benzema.
Yeah, but I would call Benzema more of a winger
I
than
understand
I would as a
that,
center
but
forward.
you could kick Kai out there as a winger.
So you're
as a
saying
center
that
forward.
Harry Kane is
What I'm saying is at a
Kai
certain
Havertz is a better replacement than Harry Kane.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is Kai Havertz is more of a similar replacement for the guy that you're losing. That's what I'm saying than Harry Kane. That's what I'm saying. If you look at them in playing style, their stature, and how they move on the field, that's my opinion. Where Harry Kane is more of a target forward, I don't view Benzema as more of a target forward. He kind of runs on the ball a bit, where Kai Havertz does as well. He's a little bit more versatile. So here's your problem.
I think
I
Harry
don't know if I
Kane's got
agree
him
with
pretty
that.
versatile since he's developed as a player over the
To
years.
come back and play.
He drops
almost
down
as
in the
a
pocket
false
like
nine,
Benzema
yeah.
does. Yeah.
So it's just an opinion. So at a certain point, though, you're going to pay 150, 160 pounds probably for Jude. He's going to go for probably 30 more million than what was it Enzo Fernandez did for Chelsea, right?
125 for Enzo.
So he's
yeah.
going to go 30 more million than that for sure, minimum. So you're up to 150, 160, right? And then you want Kai Havertz according to all the reports,
Yep.
and that they're in talks right now. And Chelsea is probably going to ask for, I'd say, 60, 70. Where does the budget fit in for Harry Kane?
So the Harry
They
Kane,
cut Hazard, so they're not paying the
No,
rest of his
but
money.
the Harry Kane numbers they're talking about now, in England, if you wanted him, you'd be 100 to 110 million.
Mhm.
So
If you want him in England,
for 3 players, you're going to spend 300 million.
I think they would because they gotta replace players, and they
this
have.
is where I think you are completely wrong.
Well, they're getting rid of Asensio, right? So Asensio's not coming back.
Asensio's leaving. This is where I think you're very wrong, Nate. I think they wanted Kai Havertz when they didn't know if Karim Benzema was leaving, and now they know he's
Oh, you don't
leaving.
think those talks have been going on for a while? You think that?
Oh, no,
you
no, no.
woke up
No,
on
I
a
think they do.
Saturday and decided on a Sunday.
You missed my point.
Okay.
Those talks have been going on with Kai Havertz and his agent, right? Behind
No, the
the
talks
scenes.
with Benzema. I don't think the Benzema.
Oh no, the Benzema thing I think just came up. I don't think they expected him to leave.
Oh,
I think-
there had to be
Okay,
some
all right,
type of
fine,
inkling.
fine. You're gonna tell me that Real Madrid? We're gonna go ahead and put it out there. The number one richest club in the world, the winningest club in the world, who can attract anybody and everybody, is gonna go. We don't want to spend the extra 10 million on Harry Kane, who definitely can score goals anywhere in the world at the best league, at the international level, at club level. We're going to go with Kai Havertz instead. You're going to want Harry Kane.
That's not what
He goes
you're
somewhere.
going one for the other. I'm saying all three. Because
No,
it
if you-
seems like they're
you're-
in for Kai Havertz.
If they
So
are,
you're saying
and they
it's
had
not
to,
plausible to get all three?
I'm questioning whether it's plausible to get all three.
Well, look who's leaving.
And they're in
You
for
guys,
Kai
we
Havertz.
but
stopped talking about. So they got rid of
Brooks,
Hazard.
you're leaving out. You're just talking about salaries.
You're talking
salaries
about
are fine.
salaries. I'm talking
It's a
about
transfer
a
fee.
lump sum.
I understand,
of money,
but that
and
opens
then-
up money
and
for
then
you
the
to then
salaries.
spend.
I mean,
it's going to go straight to the new players.
Asensio's going to be sold for about $40 million.
Yeah.
They
cut Hazard.
Hazard's gone, so
Didn't
they don't get anything
they're
there.
selling another guy, aren't they? Isn't there a
They'll
third
sell
guy?
2 or 3. They'll sell 2 or 3 for sure. Yeah.
Did they re-up with Modric?
2 or 3.
They'll
But
sell 2 or 3.
Again,
like,
you're talking about salary.
right.
Salary's one thing.
They're not going to
But
make
it frees up
$300 million.
space.
I think if they had to choose, it's obviously Harry Kane's the number 1 on the
And
list.
there's no cap, so the owner will spend how much money he wants.
Harry
know?
Kane's not number 1 on the list. Jude Bellingham's number 1 on
Oh,
the list.
that deal's done. That deal's done.
Yeah,
that deal's
that
done and
done-
dusted.
that
Yeah,
deal is
excuse
done
me.
and dusted.
That deal's done and
That's
dusted.
going to be the most expensive deal that they're going to have.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no argument.
And
there.
then Kai Havertz is a close second by all reports right now.
Sterling says Asensio's on a
didn't.
free. That makes sense, though.
Oh, is he? And
think
rumors are he's going to Villa, but I don't think that's true
Yeah.
anymore. I don't think that's true anymore.
I've
now
seen
that we've missed out.
PSG on there, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
Um,
that makes sense. On a free, that would make sense because they
I
want
thought
something
I thought
returned.
Asensio had a year left, but he must be. I think
Yeah.
Sterling's correct. His contract's up.
But there were like 3
um,
guys that were that.
Yeah,
they
and
were-
there's 2 or 3, and they'll sell 2 or 3 lower tiered players.
Yeah.
But essentially, I do see Harry Kane going to Los Blancos, and I see him doing very well. I can see him tearing up that league. Because he's
I don't
going to
think
get
he's going.
good service.
I don't think he's going.
So where do
You
you,
don't think
where
Harry
do you think
Kane's
he's going?
No, I don't.
Do you
He's
think
not staying at
think
Tottenham.
He's gonna go wear a little red,
Don't
but not
say
in
it.
Germany.
No, you think
I
Newcastle?
I think Newcastle or Man United. I think you have 2 bidders there, and he's going to take the highest amount of money there because both them can give him probably close to what he wants, which is some type of English trophy. I think he stays.
Real
he
Madrid
stays.
will offer more money, and he'll definitely get a trophy.
I don't
at
know.
Real
I
He'll
don't
get a
know if
few
they will.
trophies.
I
in
think
the year.
he'll definitely get a trophy at Real Madrid.
I don't. But does he want one from Spain?
A trophy's a trophy.
I
The
don't know
only
about that.
the only reason he stays in England, is to try to beat Alan Shearer's Premiership goal scoring record,
and that's the
which
other-
is
and
48 goals away
That's
from.
the other thing. So I
Only
think
reason.
you have 2 bidders in Newcastle and Man United that are going to go head to head and throw gobs of money. And I don't think Real Madrid's going to enter into that race because of the other players that they are already looking at and going to be committed to. One Jude Bellingham, which they're pretty much already done and
That's a
dusted.
set and done deal.
And then the Kai Havertz thing, which I'm hearing is almost on the finish line.
Which, if they wanted to, they could float with like 3 wingers because like Vinicius could play center forward. I mean, they can float those guys around
I
and play
can
different
sit in
positions.
your center.
Yes,
I think
that's what I mean.
I
Though,
think
like
Kai Havertz is a
they're versatile.
average player at best. I don't think he's on the level of
In the
any of
Premier
players
League-
we've mentioned.
I don't
In
know
the
that.
Premier League, maybe, but like you put him in that league or Bundesliga or whatever, I think he really
I
ups
think he'd
your.
be a very good player in those
Yeah.
leagues for sure. But in the Premiership, he's an above average player. I don't. He's not on the Harry Kane
on a
level.
subpar Chelsea team.
That's true.
He was
That
on
wa-
a.
That was in shambles, to be honest with you.
This year subpar. Previous years they were top 3 squad, right? They won Champions
Because
League
of him, yes.
because of him.
I think so. Yeah, why not?
I think he was part of the team, but he was in and out of the squad. He was never a full-time starter.
Yeah.
In and out. I think he's an above-average Premiership player. The only reason he'll go for so much money is because he has a ceiling, but he has been called lazy by several of his coaches. I don't think he's on the Harry Kane level. He's definitely not on Jude.
No, I don't think he's the Harry Kane level.
I think they're different players.
They're different.
The caliber of player. I think you've got Harry.
I think Harry
Kane,
Kane's
who
a better
has-
finisher than
is-
Havertz.
well, even
Yeah, because Harry Kane's a pure forward.
Exactly. Whereas you can play Havertz as a wide winger that can drive at people, or he can play
Benzema
inside, or he can
not a
come inside
pure
the game and plays as a midfielder.
Benzema's not a pure forward.
Towards the last few years, he has been, but not.
And that's what
not-
they need.
not
You've got
historically.
Jude Bellingham. You've got Vinny Jr. on the left, who
Mm-hmm.
can run at people, who needs to feed the man in the middle. I don't think it's Kai Havertz. I think it's Harry Kane. I think in my opinion, Nate, I respect your opinion that you think he stays in England. That is very possible, depending on what he wants to do, right? If he wants to break that Premiership record, if he wants to stay in England, then
I
that's
just think
what he gets.
I think there's other factors still going on there, and I think with two top 4 clubs that are going to be bidding for him,
Yeah.
I think that's throwing curveballs in there.
Yeah, I personally, as I said with the Bellingham piece,
Quite frankly,
you've got Premiership clubs bidding for him and wanting him, and then you've got Real Madrid. And Real Madrid's just on a different level than any Premiership club
Yeah.
can ever be, including Man City, who's right now, we'll get to it in a minute, in my opinion, one of the best teams in the world. But Real Madrid, they are the winningest, richest club in the world.
Quite-
When they come calling, you go.
and quite frankly, if I was United, I would skip it. I think it's gonna be too expensive.
Fair enough.
Now, that is the most sensible thing I've actually heard you say in the last couple of weeks.
And I think there's other players you can go for because
I've
you're
heard
going to need
100%.
you're going to need 2 forwards because
Yes.
you have 0. So you're going to need 2 forwards, and I think there's 2 really good. I think there's multiple really good young candidates that you can get in to say, hey, you're going to be the guy soon, and then there is 1 or 2 stopgaps that you can get in.
Nate, that's the smartest thing you've said in the last couple of weeks. Pass up Harry Kane.
Well, I'm tired
It's
and I'm
cost you
depressed.
$110
I'm fucking
million.
tired. I'm depressed because
That's when you.
I thought I had friends that want to go to the bar to me. All the way, oh yeah, you're gonna be on the show. Yeah, you're gonna go to the bar. And then all of a sudden, 5 minutes prior to the show, I'm not coming. So I'm gonna just drink alone at the table by myself and cry my tears of friendlessness as I mourn the retirement of my favorite player.
Mr. Zlatan.
And United lost.
Let's get to it.
But
That's what
Stuttgart's going to win.
So the tale of
Cincinnati won.
They did.
Hey.
9-game home winning streak. There you go.
Hey, good shit. Dude.
Yeah.
I did win money on Cincy again. Keep betting on him.
Always bet on Orange.
Always bet on Orange.
Pat Noonan.
Pat Noonan. He's
good.
He's revolutionized that freaking club right now. Pat Noonan for U.S. manager.
I think
After the
you
season.
guys are forgetting Pat Noonan's a good friend of mine.
You played against him, Craig. I don't know if he's.
Can I get it?
Exactly. I played against him like 4 times.
Hey, Craig, can I get it?
If I went up to
Can I
Pat Noonan, he was like, "I know Craig Hearn. Do you remember Craig Hearn?"
You'll
I
go.
would give you $1 million if you said that because he definitely doesn't know me.
Can I get an
I
autograph?
did play against him
Can I
4
get an
times.
autograph? Or
I mean, I know people at FC Cincy. If I can talk to the first team, I'll drop that.
Nate,
Can I get an autograph? My God, man! Oh, I just noticed that people at FC.
What do you want an autograph?
I know you and your daughter always watch the games, but I just know that it doesn't matter. Get the
Nate,
freaking third
The Kit Man?
What? Well, like at least a player to write, "Dear Cindy, nice season, signed blah," and that will be her favorite freaking player that there is.
I will sign something for you and your daughter after the show. Don't worry about it. All right,
If I
onwards.
can, and I know I'm going
I
to
get
be
a
around
real
them,
player?
I will go.
Whoa!
Will you take
Yes.
second team players that have first team contracts?
Yes.
Okay.
If you got me Lucio Acosta, because that right now is your favorite player.
Will you settle for Steven Jimenez, the 16-year-old homegrown,
Yep.
and the 19-year-old homegrown they just signed?
Yep.
And maybe Isaiah Foster.
Sure.
Okay, I might be able to swing that.
You know any
You
Jags
gotta buy
players?
the $80 jersey though.
Do you know any Jags players going on trial there? Because I'll settle for that.
All right, boys. All right, we alluded to it. Let's get to it. The FA Cup was yesterday. It was actually a really fun game to watch. I really do think. Listen, it was a good game. I applaud United for taking.
Holy shit!
Whoa.
But it was a good game. I applaud
He
United.
complimented me.
Whoa!
Took-
Whoa!
Is there an earthquake?
Hello, hell? Has it frozen over there?
Yes.
What is going on
I
here?
applaud United
Who is
for
this man?
taking
Who is this?
best
Who are you, and
team.
what have you done with Craig Hearn? We haven't heard from him all weekend, and then I get this guy coming in here.
We thought you were dead, Craig, because you
go-
didn't respond to
I've
us.
seen
We were
this
like, "Did your
alien
wife kill
invasion
you?"
movie.
So I did avoid talking to most people yesterday because the only thing I was going to be able to say is Manchester City are the best team in the world.
Ah.
I've
And
seen
they
this
deserve the
alien
cup.
invasion movie. Remember the body snatchers? Where this is what's going on. It's some body snatcher shit.
Yeah. We thought your wife had buried
What's
you
up,
somewhere.
Xenu?
I
I'm
do
onto your
give-
stuff.
I'm just
I do
kidding.
give Manchester United credit for taking the best team in the world all the way to the final whistle. It very well, that ball very well could have slipped into the back of the net and made it 2-2, and they could have gone to extra time. Listen, the difference in the game for me was the subs because Man United
Don't
are
have
able
any.
to bring on Wout Weghorst,
Class.
McTominay,
Class.
and who else did they bring on?
I hear Everton wanted
Garnacho.
Weghorst.
Garnacho is actually a good player, but then you've got Phil Foden
Yeah.
coming on.
World class.
I mean, just
Yeah. So, and that's where I was talking to somebody.
that's the
Maybe it
difference.
might have been a one sexy Danny, but and he was just like, and I went, honestly, if the game's close, I want United to win. But if we make the game respectable and it's close, and it was, there was a couple times where we could have absolutely drawn even.
Very close, yeah.
I mean, we're not expected to win this game. We're not.
No,
It's a different. We're just not there yet.
Right.
We're close. We're knocking on the door. You know what I
Close,
mean?
close.
With a few right signings, we could be at that door. But what I like is that they exhausted all their players, so Inter can smack them in the Champions League. Eggman never loses.
so
Is
that's
Eggman going with Inter? Is that what
Yeah,
he's?
Yeah, it's the.
Yeah,
That's
take
why
it.
I did the Eggman bet. I got the Eggman bet.
This
going
is
I
on.
thought he
where-
does it like the day before or whatever.
No, he did it 8 weeks ago, or 10 weeks ago, and
Yeah,
has
he did it
gotten
a while ago.
everything right so far.
Oh, he did this in wow.
He has nailed. That's the importance of Eggman.
All right, boys, listen.
I have reason to believe that Zlatan is Eggman.
Wow.
That's where I think you're wrong.
Zlatan is an Eggman?
He's definitely not.
Oh,
Eggman.
okay.
I don't think
The power of
I don't think
Eggman.
Man City exhausted all their players. I think, to be honest, because they held so much possession, they did seem a little tired. Both teams seemed tired. I think that was a mistake to play the game at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, England time, in the sun like that. I would have loved to seen the game being played a little later.
Yeah, it's like MLS next playoffs from Frisco, Dallas. When
How
I
the
go,
hell did you just compare the FA Cup in England to the MLS next in Frisco?
He's good.
because of
Do you
the
like it
heat.
when-
Because of the heat.
Do you like when we were talking, he compared the 77 to the World Cup, and I went, what?
What?
I don't know how he does this. All right, hold on. Back to topic.
No,
Back to
because of
topic.
the heat and everything. Why
Yes.
would you let kids play in the middle of July in Frisco, Dallas, and Dallas? Yeah,
Is it hot in Texas?
yeah, it's like 100 degrees.
But it's
Yeah.
a dry heat.
It's a dry heat.
dry heat.
So both
Isn't
teams.
it like that in England?
I can't keep anybody on topic today.
go
No,
ahead.
England's
These
surrounded
boys have
by
had
water.
too much sugar.
Sorry, go ahead.
How can England have a dry heat and surrounded by water with
El
rivers
Nino,
flowing all
Nate.
through?
El Nino has.
I don't
so
even
many-
know what that means.
Go ahead, Craig.
Anyway. Both teams did seem a little tired yesterday. I don't think City, to be honest, got out of third gear for most of the game. They were able to make some good substitutions and get players. They've got 6 days to rest now. They're going to have a couple days off. They are then going to just prepare. They've recovered. They will be ready. I do not think in any way whatsoever that the United players will be tired from this matchup heading into the game against Inter Milan on Saturday. Remember, 3 p.m. kickoff. Some of us will be at Dog and Pony Show Brewing in Oak Park. Come and join. Brooks will be there.
Yeah.
Greg will be there.
Nate will be at tryouts.
Nate will be at tryouts because he's working. But hey,
Can you put like a? Can we put like a cardboard cutout for you at tryouts and you come join us?
I was gonna say the other way around, but
You know, the cardboard Kyle might actually coach better than me though. So we might-
whoa! Look, there's Nate with his
Holy
notebook
crap.
in hand. He
Yeah.
hasn't moved.
This
He's
is
really
the
taking
best
some
I've ever
notes.
seen Nate coach in a tryout ever.
He's really attentive today.
Why did he fall over when that wind goes to wind blow?
Don't they give you an assistant at the Jags?
Huh? No, those are good coaches.
Yeah. So anyway, all right. It's gonna be a hell of a matchup. I think that Pep on Saturday
Let me ask you this.
didn't use all of his tactics because he was very aware that Inter Milan are watching, but he definitely wanted to win that game. They are 2/3 of the way through the trouble. Sorry, Nate, to cut you off. Go ahead. Ask what you need
I'm
to
going to
ask.
ask both of you this question. We'll start with, I don't know, whoever wants to go first.
Go ahead, Brooks. We'll let you
So
answer first.
Craig Hearns and Brooks Lambier
S on my name.
Junior. Always say it twice. Question to both of you. Who's a better team? Inter or United?
Inter Milan or Man United?
Mm-hmm.
Who
Who has a better roster?
has a better roster?
I don't think I've seen the whole Inter roster.
I would like to compare them, but off the top of my
watch
head,
Serie
I
A
will
enough.
say that
Inter Milan's got forwards.
I will say off the top of my head, I will say Man United are probably a better team for the fact that they compete in the best league in the world.
Is
They
that what-
finished
no,
third.
I just asked who has better
Um,
rosters.
I think their roster is probably ahead of Inter Milan's, in my opinion.
You think so?
Yeah, I would say probably.
No, Mkhitaryan plays for Inter Milan.
Quality.
Cast off. Yeah, Man United didn't want him. They cast him off, right?
That's what the Serie A teams do a very
They
good
pick
job
up
of. Though.
cast-offs. Lukaku
Yeah.
picked up Chelsea's cast-off, and they're using him very well.
The thing that the Dzeko's
So,
on there
but
too.
Dzeko, a
you got
cast-off, a
Martinez.
37-year-old.
Yeah.
You got Martinez.
Yep.
Who's probably pretty solid, right?
I agree
Yeah.
with you.
And I think their goalkeeper hasn't been too bad. Dumfries is not too bad.
Yeah.
I think
he's-
Dumfries is a bit overrated. He had a great World Cup, good Euros, and I think he's just picked up from that.
Brozovic isn't too bad.
Does he stand up to anybody on United? Do any of those players stand up to anybody on United?
Well, I think your forward line 100% does, and I think your back line is on par right now.
So you think that Inter Milan is a better team than the Man United team right now?
What I'm trying to allude to
Yeah.
is I don't think City full-on dominated that game against United. I don't think they did.
No, I agree with you. I don't think they dominated.
I think they came short of a few. First thing, the Godolan goals. Some of them were Godolan. They were a bit wondrous, if you will. Good.
That's what Philip Hernandez was saying. He said both
good.
Gundogan goals were awful, making him, to be honest, are marking him, to be honest. They didn't mark him very well.
Well, I mean, you had
first one was seconds into the game.
The first one flick on that he just drops right in front of him that he hits perfectly.
Yeah.
Casemiro gets caught out of position. Because of the ball that gets
so my point is I would not count out this Inter team against City.
I think
all because of what I just saw.
I think Champions League is a different tale when Premier League teams step outside of the league, and it's shown in the past why they haven't been able to win all the time.
You nailed it. I
think a lot of the teams, honestly, I think because of the league, how tough it is, but also I think they really underrate a lot of their opponents sometimes. They think they have it in the bag and they're going to win. And these Italian and Serie A teams and Bundesliga teams come out and they take it to them. And I don't think Inter Milan's not scared of Man City, that's for sure.
I think Martinez is going to have a hell of a game because right now,
Arturo?
Yeah, and because right now, if I was him, this is my time to showcase to 3 clubs who might be looking for a forward.
I see where you're going. I see where you're going with this.
Yeah.
I will say the difference is Inter Milan and Italian teams are very good tactically. They are just tactically aware of what teams bring to play against them. And that is probably, and I think Pep is a genius, by the way. I think this year he's finally got it figured out where he's not outsmarting himself. He has done a very good job of bringing the
genius statement, but okay.
Well, yeah, it's an opinion, right? But I do think that Inter Milan's squad is chock full of good players. Man City, though, are just on another level. That when they can bring on a Foden, then you can bring on a Julian Alvarez. You can bring in a Nathan Ake. I mean, the first team goalkeeper didn't even start on Saturday against Man United, right? Ederson didn't start.
No, they put the backup in, yeah.
Yeah. So listen, I think it will be a 1-goal game, maybe a 2-goal game at a stretch against Inter Milan, but as we all know, Man City are the favorites, and I do expect them to go on to win to complete this treble. I will say that I think United, again, did a great job this past weekend, but in my opinion, City went into 3rd gear. They didn't get into 4th gear. I do want your guys' opinion. It did. I don't think there was a debate in our Facebook group about the handball, but in my opinion, 100% a handball.
Yeah, there was.
Because was it a debate? It was a handball, was it not?
We made a comment about the VR.
It was a handball.
It was the VR stuff.
People
right?
are talking about it.
It was a handball because you've got your hand up, and it might have just glanced off his hand, but
sure.
It was a handball.
The question is your hand or arm in a unnatural position preventing a goal-scoring opportunity?
Did it present?
I don't know. If you jump around like this.
Yeah, but he didn't. He did. And again,
intent has nothing to do with it.
I agree. I don't think he meant to do it. But it's still a hand. It doesn't matter. But it's still a handball because his hand is up.
Right.
Did it prevent a goal-scoring opportunity with a little flick of the 2 fingers?
Well,
I don't think so, but it's a handball. It's 100% a handball.
The trajectory of the ball, then it could have.
It's a handball.
Yeah.
I think United, I don't want to say got a little lucky because there's a little luck both ways, right? It happens, lucky.
I mean, it happens.
That's part of the game. I do think the one in the second half where Kevin De Bruyne went for the ball and it was Fred who reaches for the ball and ends up tripping De Bruyne, I think that's also a penalty as well, but he's just trying to reach for the ball, but inadvertently trips the player coming from behind him. Luck, unlucky.
Spoken like a true forward.
You got it. See? Now you're talking. Not like what you called me the other week was a Man United hater. Yeah. I would have said the same the other way. As a forward, I would love to have that call.
Spoken as defender, no.
No, I know. Yeah, exactly. Not
on your life.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dove.
All right. Do we think that Man City go on to complete the treble, boys? Do we think they go on and beat? And you can base it on Eggman if you want. your egg man, your cabbage man, your freaking tomato guy, whatever you want. Do they go on to complete
Tomato
the trouble?
guy.
I don't know.
Is there a tomato guy?
No, there's an
He's
the
Italian,
octopus
by the
does
way.
the
The
World
tomato
Cup
guy's
stuff, right?
Italian.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't the octopus picking
Yeah.
the World Cup stuff and everything?
Usually he does. We should go look
Yeah.
into octopus to see if
Yeah.
he's picking something.
Do,
like
do
this.
they complete the trouble, boys?
I'm gonna say no.
You think Inter take it, huh?
Yeah.
All right, Nate.
All bets are off in a one-game final.
Yep.
And
that's
as
the
you've
thing.
seen before, it's not always the better team that wins.
Yep.
Because Chelsea on paper were not better than Man City.
You're right. What, 3 was that 2 years ago? 3 years
Yep.
ago now?
And
2
on,
years ago.
And on
2 years ago.
paper,
2 years ago.
PSG was better than Munich.
Yep.
On
Yeah.
paper.
Yep.
But
And
Munich
if you
won.
come down to a one game, it's
And
all
on
bets are
paper,
off.
Liverpool
Yeah, right.
was
Who shows
Liverpool
up
beat
that day?
Madrid that 1 year on paper. They weren't
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
So it's all bets are off. I'm still riding Eggman until I die. I'm not going to change it.
All right.
When was the
Not
last
changing.
Serie A game?
When was
of
the last
league?
Eggman prediction?
When was the last Serie A game?
Yeah.
They played today.
That's a good question.
Today.
Yeah.
Today. AC Milan and the
So the league was done this
yeah,
weekend.
the league was done this week.
Okay. Who did
But
enter?
Inter Milan has been done for a while because they
Did
got
they
other
finish
players
last week?
for-
Why would the league finish on different days? That's so City.
No, they just have
We
not
need the
played.
Serie A table.
Yeah. We'll look at yeah, I
I'll
should
tell you. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Bring up the table.
All right, I'm going to ask you guys this. I asked you this a couple of weeks ago. Nate, chime in when you tell me that
The
they were all
last
done
game was
today.
yesterday.
It was yesterday.
Yeah.
So why did AC Milan play today?
Mm.
Oh, was that a?
Make up.
Could
no,
be.
It might have been a. I don't know. Anyway,
Catch up.
all right. I'm going to ask you, everybody as well, on who's watching. Put this in the comments, please. I asked the boys this last week or a couple of weeks ago. I also asked Danny. I said, listen, I am going to give you. Not really, but if I give you $1 million right now, you can take it and walk away. Or you can put it on Man City to win the treble. We've got one game left. So you can take $1 million, walk away with it, or you can turn it into $25 million by betting it. Bet that million. Do Man City complete the treble?
Did he already ask us this question, but he's just putting money behind it?
No, now we're 2/3 of the way there.
I'm taking.
Are you betting on Man City? If
No,
I,
I'm
But
still
you asked
taking-
us who's going to
you're
win
taking
the
you're
game.
taking it because of Eggman.
I'm taking the million because of Eggman, number one. And number two is, if you've ever seen my betting track record, you know the sure thing is always better than me picking anything.
And you picked Inter Milan to win, by the way. So Man City. Right
I
now,
didn't
thank
pick
you.
Inter Milan to win. Eggman picked Inter Milan to
You
win.
went with
and
your
now
Eggman.
you're asking me to pick City, and I'm telling you, if I pick City, I get nothing. It doesn't even matter. I get nothing.
Yeah,
and if
nothing.
I take that
Nothing.
million, City probably wins anyways. So, there you go.
This is true. Brooks, but you really do think that Inter Milan will
Yeah.
Why?
I listen. Teams come out and, like you said, they're very tactical. Those Italian coaches. I think they have a plan and they have A, B, and C all lined up for Pep and what he does.
Mm-hmm.
And they may. And this is what I love about Serie A teams. They'll bunker in. They're not afraid to bunker
They'll
in.
park that bus. They'll park that
And
bus.
that's
make
hard.
it ugly soccer.
And that could be very difficult for where Man City tends to see a lot of pressing in the Premier League.
True.
So
They'll park
or
that
they
bus.
will press too. Inter
and then
Milan.
they'll yell at the referee behind the bus after the game, a la Jose Mourinho.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just think they have a plan, and I think it's going to be close.
Okay.
It's either 1-0 in regulation or it goes to PKs.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I am
for
betting
Milan.
on Man City. I think they complete the treble. I think they cement themselves as one of the greatest soccer teams to ever play. They will be up there, in my opinion, with the 2011-2012 Barcelona team. And it pains me to say this, but it is true. The 99 Man United team
So they're better.
also won the treble.
Would you put them as better as the Man City team that had the most Premier League points in the season?
Yes, I would. I think this team
Is
a
that
better
tougher to
team.
do? I would say that's tougher to do than win a Champions League.
No, they prioritized. They prioritized the other cups this year. They said, we think we can win the Premiership by playing this way, by playing these players, but we also want to make sure we get the FA Cup, and we also want to make sure the main goal, the Champions League. They prioritized a little differently this year than I think better than they did previously, even though
I would say
team,
getting the most points ever in Premier League history is a lot tougher than winning a Champions League.
that was their goal at the time, and I think they did fairly well to do that. I mean,
I thought that was a very, very, very good team with players in their prime.
This year, the goal is not to just be points. It's to get trophies and to get that trophy that they're playing for next week.
Fair.
Because if they don't get that, everybody's going to look at Pep and go, you failed. This is the one you really wanted.
He failed, just like he did with Munich.
I don't
It's
think
weird when you get into a league where you can't just spend.
Well, Man City, you can.
You can't in Germany.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
Nor MLS.
he got there, he just didn't complete it.
Oh, he did. He failed in Germany by all German standards.
I still put him up there as one of the best managers
That
around.
can't do it unless you get endless amount of money.
All right, boys, listen, we are going to take a quick few-minute break here. We need to get a refill on our beers. We're drinking Dog and Pony Show beer. Thanks there, guys, for providing the beer for us here at the Weekly Recap Extravaganza for We Are Soccer. We are going to quickly show you, we don't want to call them commercials. We'll just call them some fun videos from our friends. Infomercials. And we will be back. Do me a favor. Get yourself a drink. Get some peanuts. Get a little snack. We'll be right back. Do not leave. We've got a lot coming up. We're going to talk more about Champions League. We're going to talk more about 7v7 tournament, the U20 World Cup. We've got Pulisic rumors to Juventus. We got Messi being booed, and we've got MLS. Come on, right back, ladies and gentlemen.
Tempo, yes, drop out, good. Yes, touch, play, right foot, yes. Scan, good. Touch in, play, drop your hip, right, yes, good scan. Yes. Jay, well done. Inside on touch, play, see it, yes.
Hi, Brooks. We're at our favorite store, Soccer World in Rochester. We're just gonna do some light shopping. Nothing big. Ooh, pretty colors. Oh, and one of these too?
Ooh, Germany. Nate would like this.
Hey, Brooks, look at all these. Look what I got.
South America. Ooh. Wow, that's not MLS. Cool.
Socks? No.
Ooh, a ball pump. Next in line.
Sir, you're next.
Right. That's a mannequin. You know that.
Huh?
It's a mannequin.
Oh. Sorry, sir.
Craig, what are you doing?
Nothing.
Huh?
and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back here from the weekly recap extravaganza from We Are Soccer. We have gotten through a lot, but there's so much more to get through. Right now, the CONCACAF Champions League is going on. Currently, as we're doing our show, and LAFC are down 1-0, and that would be 3-1 aggregate, correct, Brooks?
Correct, yes.
Looks like there's going to be a Liga MX team that wins CONCACAF Champions League this year. It will not be an MLS team. I really did think LAFC were good enough to get that win, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
I don't
That's a
think
bummer.
they're going to be upset with themselves about that one. But,
They should be.
you know,
I mean, maybe I should have interviewed Kellen Acosta and, Chiellini before. I don't know. Give him that little
bump.
Do it, Craig.
Yeah, I know. Give him that bump, right?
yeah.
Give him that bump. Speaking of friends of our show, it was U.S. Soccer legends Lexi Lawless's birthday the other day. Did you guys send him a happy birthday
I
message?
sent him a card.
You did. Good.
I don't have his number.
I sent it to Fox Soccer P.O. Box.
Something LA.
Attention,
Legend.
Alexi Lawless.
Yeah.
Mr. Alexi. He likes to be
gets it.
preferred.
I think I have his email.
As most important people in this world, I don't have any contact info. And probably been blocked for most.
Why?
A lot of people don't like me.
I don't know why.
And I do not understand.
Well, ask Craig.
Anyway, onwards. All right, boys. So there is still a lot to get through. Something that we've had a couple of discussions about this. We talked to Mr. Kevin Robson, who's your Army head coach. The TST 7v7 tournament that happened this past weekend. It started Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The final was today. It was SLCFC versus Newtown Pride FC, two amateur teams. This tournament consisted of pro teams from around the world providing players, former players, some current but younger players. It was former U.S. men's national team players, former U.S. women's national team players. Wrexham sent a handful of players. You name it. This was, in my opinion, an awesome tournament. I was
collegiate teams,
enthralled with it.
IU and
Two
Duke.
collegiate teams. Now we gotta make sure we put that right though, Brooks. Not college players, former players.
college players.
Former players.
Yeah.
So players who were formerly at colleges. We'll take Indiana for instance.
Hoosier Army.
The Hoosier Army players who formerly played for Indiana in the last 10, 15 years. They did extremely well. They did.
They
not
went with all
make
the
it out of
young
group.
guys.
They did a couple young guys.
No, they went with a lot of them. Guys I've scouted in the past 5 to 6 years. That's what that team consists of. Oh yeah.
But
Besides maybe Nikita Kodlov and then obviously Christian Lamelli, the goalkeeper. I think those I pretty much knew everyone else in the field. And then besides Josh Gadd.
I'd say Josh Gadd, who's here local to us here.
Yeah.
But we must say, there was West Ham, Borussia Dortmund, Wrexham. Who else? What else was there?
So we had, besides that, we had obviously said the women's national team.
Charlotte FC provided.
Jimmy Conrad and DeMarcus Beasley put a team together. Zala FFF was a AJ De La Garza team he put together. The Sneaky Fox was a Mike McGee team that he put together with a bunch of other guys, so they had a good mixture of players. There was also a Necaxa team from Liga MX, Club Necaxa.
Yep.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of team Dempsey. So there were a lot of guys. Wolves, Wolverhampton.
Provided a team. Yep.
So there were clubs that put teams together just specifically from their club, and there were people that brought people in together and
there was a buy-in. It was.
yes.
I heard it was 10,000, but someone today retweeted and said it was actually 20,000, a $20,000 buy-in. Most clubs, most of the teams in the 7v7 tournament had. As we said, some of the professional clubs, that club fronted the money. Newtown Pride FC actually had one guy who fronted the $20K to get in.
So did Hoosiers Army.
Yeah, and they had one guy who fronted the money, and it was a lot of money to front, $20K to front for all these players, put up the lodging, everything, the food. And good for both the teams today, SLCFC and Newtown Pride FC, amateur teams. Amateur teams got through, and some of the highlights I've seen today, I didn't get the chance to watch the final game, unfortunately, but some of the highlights, you're like,
I did.
how are these? These aren't amateurs. These are super players.
Newtown Pride are pretty much all MASL players, so Major Arena Soccer League. So that's what they are.
You
and
can
then,
call them pro if you want.
They are.
But
They
when
are.
you get to 7v7 or 11v11, they're amateurs.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, but no, I mean,
Probably
7v7. I mean, that's what indoor soccer is, anyways. So boarded.
It's a different game, though, right? I mean,
It
boarded
is,
soccer versus
but they
the-
had an advantage just because they're used to playing with small numbers and no offsides and everything. And then also, the Canadian team was a bunch of Canadian futsalers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was super interesting that a bunch of futsalers got through to the final, and then a bunch of indoor professional players.
I mean,
also through.
if you really think about it, that's the soccer they play, and they don't play with offsides and everything, so they're used to all those rules.
It's a completely different game playing
And subbing on the
11v11
fly.
outside versus smaller indoor or 7v7
Yeah.
small.
And how you
small
sub
field.
and how you can
Yeah.
sub on the fly and all that stuff. Yeah,
I
it's
was
not different.
absolutely enthralled with it. I was super happy they picked up a bunch of exposure. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend. I did get a pass to get down there, but unfortunately, due to other commitments, I was not able to attend. I'm really bummed. Really would have loved to have gone and seen it. It was awesome.
I enjoyed it.
Newtown
I watched
Pride?
a lot of matches on YouTube. It was great.
Yeah, I watched.
And I thought it was great. It was on the final match was on CNBC today. I thought
Yeah,
it was terrific.
that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
The final team, Newtown Pride FC, won it, and they take the $1 million. That's a $1 million prize. I think when you do the $1 million, you got to say it like $1 million, right? Congrats to Newtown Pride, so cool. Congrats to the Hoosier Army, you guys did very well. Represented
lost to the team
collegiate
that
and
won.
the Big Ten. The Big Ten ranks collegiate ranks very well. What were you saying, Brooks?
No, the Hoosier Army had to beat Newtown in order to get in through the group, and they gave them quite a game at the end in their third match of group play, but unfortunately they lost 3-1 in that match.
You know, the funny thing is Newtown Pride lost their first game of the tournament.
They did.
They did. Just like Argentina lost their first game in the World Cup, and then they went on to win.
Interesting
know.
comparison there.
Don't have to tell you. Always lose the first game of the tournament, apparently, and then you'll go on
And
to win.
Newtown Pride in the past, just to let people know, they have been an amateur team that has qualified for the U.S. Open Cup in the past.
Are they the only?
No, there's been other amateur
Okay.
teams.
Most
but
recent, though, I guess.
Most
you would
recent,
say,
I
right?
think, yeah. Mhm.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I think we've all learned a lot from this 7v7 tournament, and the fact is, it was a success.
Yes.
And it's going to happen again. I can see this happening every year. Will the big clubs send teams? I don't know. I think we'll see a lot of other amateur teams get in, though. I would love to get in. Watching the level of play, I would love to put a team into this. So I think we would get through and win. No, but I would love to compete. So if anybody was looking to sponsor next year's team, the We Are Soccer team, you let us know. We'll be in right away.
Yes.
All right, boys. Lots.
Hey, Nate has something to say.
Oh, no. Yeah, no.
No?
Eh,
Okay.
Nah, it's all right. Let's
Nah,
move on.
okay. Fair enough.
All right. So this is one. This is probably not going to be the longest topic in the world. PSG fans, you really showed your class today. You've been lucky enough to have the best player, one of the best players to ever play the sport, play for your club for 2 years. Every time he steps on the field, he tries his best. He puts on a show. He has helped you win. Not the hardest league in the world. Let's get out of the way. It's
Wait a
League
minute.
One.
What?
League One. Yep.
Hold on. You have marquee English players going out to, what was it, Reigns again?
Yeah, marquee English players coming towards
Nice.
their end of the career who
Nice.
want to get into the
Nice.
wine game.
They go to Nice.
Nice. Listen, League One is not the toughest league in the world, but
What?
Huh?
you have a lot of money, and the best player to ever touch a soccer ball went out and played for you, and you had the audacity to boo this man. Shame on you.
Horrendous.
Shame on you.
Sacré bleu!
The
The biggie!
They do say the
said it.
French are very rude.
They are. There's no
Hold
need to be rude to this man.
on. I'm going to defend the French for half a minute here.
Whoa,
They
whoa!
didn't
I don't
help
know
us
about
in the
this.
American Revolution.
Whoa, you're gonna defend the French, but then you say dirt on the Canadians? What is going
Don't
on?
ever bring up Canada.
Do you not like
You
French
see?
Canadians?
You
Do
see
you
what
like?
I'm saying?
Do you like French Canadians or half?
you
Oh,
gotta
no,
pick.
French Canadians are the absolute worst. That's like lower than regular Canadians.
Wow.
All right, onwards. Let's go. Let's hear it.
Go
Defend
ahead,
the
bud.
French.
Tim Horton sucks. Anywho,
How are we defending the French?
I'm gonna,
How have we gotten?
I'm
to
gonna
this?
defend the French is rude comment. Paris, maybe. Outskirts of Paris, absolutely not. Beautiful country out
Have
there.
you been to France?
Yeah, I was an
I
hour
haven't.
outside of Strasbourg, man.
I
love
will.
these
I
over
will
there.
absolutely 100% agree with you, Nate. In Paris, they can be a little bit.
Probably because tourism.
It's-
They're like
yeah.
sick of everyone.
They're
It's a combination
very
of
used to-
tourism and a lot
yeah.
of people there are probably not born and raised original
Yeah,
Parisians.
That's
if
fair.
you will.
They're not Parisians.
They're
Let's put it
Parisians.
that
They're
way.
not natural
yeah.
French.
You
people.
are 100% correct.
That's
and then
fair.
once you get outside of Paris,
Yeah,
the
it's
people,
quite a
the
nice
towns,
country.
they are absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
They are great.
Now
But-
in Germany, they're all nice, right?
Yeah, no.
Yes. Define nice.
Yeah. Let's go with
England,
moving
it's-
on.
England's hit or
onwards.
miss, right?
Oh, England is apparently the worst tourist according to everyone in Europe, more than the Americans.
Yeah, I'm not gonna defend that. You know how you can tell a German tourist though? They've got sandals with socks on. Every German tourist is wearing sandals with socks, and you're like, they're German.
I don't know if that was a thing.
Trust me, I
How
spotted
did
it
we
in
get this
England
far
a
off the
lot.
rails? Anyways,
I
back to
don't know.
PSG.
Back to PSG. Shame on you again. You do not boo the person who is now, in my opinion, and I think most of the world's opinion, the best soccer player in the history of the sport. Shame on you. He is leaving. We do not know where Messi ends up, though. He does have several offers. We're hearing that it could be back to Barcelona. We're hearing Inter Milan. Inter Miami.
Yes.
We hear Barcelona, Inter Miami teaming up. I don't see that happening. We're hearing Saudi Arabia. It's going to be very interesting to see where the man ends up. Wherever he ends up, I don't fault him. Still, to me, it doesn't change his legendary status for me. I do know. Go ahead. Yep.
I'm going to say this after Ronaldo debacle,
Mm-hmm.
because that was a goddamn debacle.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't probably feel this way a good 9-10 months ago. But it would be kind of cool to see Messi go back to Barcelona and win everything again and then retire. With the way he left, he obviously didn't want to leave. The crying and the being upset.
Yeah, he definitely didn't.
It'd be pretty cool if he went back to that team and played a role that would help them win everything. And I'm not even a Barcelona fan. I just think it would be cool. I'm not even really a
think it'd be
Messi
great.
fan.
I
I think
agree.
it would be cool.
I think it'd be great as well. It would be. I think he goes back there. I actually do think he ends up at Barca on a very reduced salary, almost for free.
It's going to
because
have to be.
It's going to
Because apparently they can't pull more levers or something. I don't know. I heard this
know.
rumor or whatever. The
can't
levers,
do
they got
that anymore.
levers, and they can't just pull them anymore. Their arms are tired,
Yeah,
which I don't know what that's like. Apparently that's the thing. My arms never get tired, Brooks.
we've noticed.
Brooks.
I do think he ends up there.
Oh,
I do
Fair enough.
think he does go back there. I don't think they win much, and then I think he does come to the MLS. I think he really wants to come to Miami in the MLS. He loves Miami. His boat is always parked there. His plane is always parked
What
there.
if he goes to
He
Qatar?
spends. Oh my God, let's not go there.
That just derailed your Miami love time. Yeah, Miami is great
No,
on
I'm
vacation. Oh my God, Qatar! No.
No, I'm sad. He could end up there because he is the ambassador of Saudi Arabia, Qatar, whatever it is. I would not.
He
fault
wore the
him if he
cloak
were
thingy.
there. Oh
The
my
cloak,
God.
the cape of invisibility. Oh my God, I'm being offensive.
Yep, we're
Right
gonna
now.
leave that topic alone. We're leaving it. Let's hope he goes back to Barcelona for our sake. And then I do think he finds his way to Inter Miami.
Well, I
who
have
this week fired Phil Neville.
I have it under good information that Messi would be awful in the MLS. Brooks,
Brooks, how are you doing, Brooks?
Scott,
Yeah.
it's not Emmerich like to know how.
Scott Emmert's like, I've been waiting for this.
God damn it,
Even
Brooks!
even watching?
He's probably in bed. He goes to
hates
bed
us.
very
He
early.
hates us.
He gets up at like 5 a.m. and does some power workouts. I don't know.
Ah.
He's changed now, man. You've changed, man.
Power workouts.
I don't know. He does some. What
What is a
it?
power
What's-
workout?
what's,
What is?
uh,
Hey, I did a workout today. Was it
workout?
power? Nah.
There's a big workout craze that like people do. I don't know. He would tell me the name, and I was like, yeah, I know what it is. But
If it's snorting pre-workout and doing a 405 squat, I'm your man.
yeah, that's your All right, all right, guys. The rumors have come out this week that, and we've actually been saying.
Oh,
this
I'm not
for
gonna
a
answer the
while.
message.
Yeah, what can we go back to the?
What do you want to talk about? The Messi to Inter
You
Miami.
asked all of us. He hasn't said a word, and you're just like, and on to the others.
He doesn't seem interested. We all
He's
think he
waiting
ends up.
to go.
Since when do people on this show wait for their turn?
I always raise my hand.
He
You
became
didn't raise your
polite.
hand this time.
Brooks, wait, hold on. Craig,
Yeah.
it's not when to people because Brooks is normally polite and well mannered.
What? And I'm not. Okay.
Brooks is
move on,
normally
Luke.
well, and I'm certainly not. I'm borderline knuckle dragging Neanderthal over here. Under the right circumstance,
Must be
my
a
shirt
Blues
gets.
supporter as well.
Yeah.
so.
Whoa.
Oh, I mean, my comment was always with Messi is if he goes to Inter Miami and plays in MLS, I think he'll be extremely technical, but I don't think he'll be the player that everyone thought he was at some point, to be honest with you. I don't think he'll be, he won't be blowing by guys because there's more athletes in the league. I think it's going to really be an adjustment for him, and I don't think, he's not going to, I don't think he put up 30 goals in the league. I think he can get double digits.
I agree.
But I don't think he's going to be the top tier player.
That's not his.
It depends on the team.
I think everyone, just because you
Inter
do.
Miami is a terrible team, by the way. So he's gonna.
Yes.
He would struggle to. fit
Inter
in.
Miami today is a terrible.
I
team.
think just because you do well in the EPL and then you go over to La Liga or whatever, and then you switch to MLS, and I get it's later in your career, I understand that. But even so, if it was kind of like you had some prime years left and you came over to MLS, I don't think
Zlatan
does-
tore it up.
he did well. But you've seen a lot of other guys come over here, and they just haven't done as well. That
I'm
have
just-
decent careers in England.
I'm only
Maybe they didn't play in the Premier League, but they played in the Championship, which is still better level than MLS.
Right, and I'm
you
not
know?
discounting what you said. You're saying I'm just pointing out that if you're a pure forward
Mhm.
that really can bang them in the net, like Zlatan was able
Mhm.
to, I think you can really.
for sure.
Because
It was just so easy
50
for him.
goals in 52 matches.
Yes, it was absurd. The number
Yeah.
he had like 17 assists, like
Yeah.
it was 56.
But that
matches,
was
52
that was
goals.
what he did, and I think it's a little bit different if you're playing a midfield defense or outside. You know what I mean?
It
More
is.
of an active
It
role.
is. And now Messi's not going to defend.
No.
So,
What?
Yeah, I know he's not
Did you
going.
watch him in the World Cup?
He's not gonna be in a center back role.
Yeah.
So how do you play with him in your lineup? And yeah, it's just everyone's like it's going to be good for the league because everyone's going to want to watch him play. But like, don't be shocked if he comes here and you're a little disappointed because he's not going to be that goal scoring machine. Even he struggled a little PSG. You could tell he was scoring goals, but it wasn't like Messi like he was at Barcelona.
He played a different role than he did at Barcelona. Barcelona
Yeah.
was playing as that forward up top. Now he's with a little bit of a withdrawn role,
Mhm.
knocking the ball off and making sure that Neymar and Mbappe get their goals.
Yeah.
It will be a little different. It's going to be interesting. He will be making his mind up. The rumors are he's going to be making his mind up in the next week here. 7 to 10 days. We will find out where Messi will be plying his trade next year or the next 2 years.
Yeah.
I think his mind's already made up. Like, yeah, I'll make up my mind in 7 days.
no.
It's like, come on, like it's.
I
no one
think
makes a life.
he's made up his mind.
Oh yeah,
But now you got to work out the
Yep.
details. Like,
Got it.
hey, Barca, I want to come back. Let's make this work. And the funny thing is, if you remember back to the conference 2 years ago where he announced he was leaving, people asked him, like, well, why aren't you coming back? You've got all the money. He said, well, they never even asked me to come back for free.
Yep.
He
Yep.
wanted to play. He was willing
Yep.
to play for
He
free.
did not want to leave.
They didn't ask him. This time they probably will ask him, hey, will you
They're
come
saying
back? on a
they're
reduced
saying
salary?
that there are.
Did
they're
that
saying-
rubs him the wrong way and he doesn't want to go back?
No, I think he just has so much love for the club that he will come back.
And
I
there's
think he
different
makes it work.
management now, isn't there?
Yes,
Did they
absolutely.
fire those
Yeah.
guys?
Yep, there's different management.
Yeah.
There's different management at that club every 3 years.
So that's how you dodge the authorities.
Yeah.
Boom.
Same. Joan Laporta is still the
President.
The resident.
Look
so
at you
president,
pronounce
not the
that name.
resident.
Can you do it one more
Joan
time?
Laporta.
Look at him.
You
Look
know,
at
put
him.
some extra inflection on it.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys are looking at, but
I don't know what happened.
I was hearing. Someone was tapping in there, and I was hearing some taps. That's
that
why.
might have been me. Sorry.
Yes.
All right, boys. So are we done with the Messi? Are we done with the Messi? Do you want to?
Yeah, I mean, it just is what it is. He's gonna pick. He's gonna decide, and I think he should go to MLS because I think it'd be very good.
Do you
for
think he
him.
should come to MLS now?
Yes.
Okay, but
Or
in all,
did you come to MLS next?
Hey.
Next pro.
Yeah,
Like
No,
the
I
second
just-
team?
no,
All right, I
it's
am
a
going to
play
ask.
on words.
I am
Brooks.
going to ask. Let's make a quick prediction. Where do you think he does play next season? In all honesty, don't use your heart, use your head.
God
not
damn
where you
it.
want him to play. Where do you think he will play? Where
Qatar.
will he be playing next year?
Inter
Qatar.
Miami.
Qatar. You think Qatar? All right, Nate's
Inter-
on record.
Inter
Qatar.
Miami.
You think?
It's been talked about for years, and I've talked to people inside the game. It's been talked for years that he's gonna come and play here.
All right. Well,
So yeah.
looks like all three of us have different answers. I'm going to go with Barcelona. I think
You told me I could have picked with my heart.
Yeah, no, you pick with your head. So I think, in my head, I think he goes to Barcelona for 1 year and then comes to Inter Miami. So
You see, Craig, I watch a lot of documentary type shows like Ancient Aliens and Escape from Skinwalker Ranch, so I'm well versed on American history and history of all ages and what's going on across the geopolitical landscape. And it doesn't going to pass me that the World Cup was rigged for Messi to win and him to then be playing in Qatar, and that was part of the deal that was made long ago when the World Cup was chosen to go to Qatar for obscene amounts of money, and that's why he's also the ambassador to cover it up. That way no one can know.
Nate's our conspiracy theorist.
Interesting.
Conspiracy factist.
Conspiracy factist.
It's all there, Brooks.
All right.
It's
All
in the
right.
stars.
So there we go. We got Brooks predicting Inter Miami. We've got Nate predicting Qatar out of nowhere. And I
Clearly
predict
not out of
Barcelona.
nowhere. I've connected the dots, Craig.
Did
You
Eggman
definitely
predict
did.
Qatar?
You definitely did.
Did Eggman predict Qatar?
Eggman is part of the scheme, Brooks. It's all
Eggman
right.
is actually in there. All right. Now let's go to our favorite U.S. men's national team player who's currently stuck in the mire of Chelsea. He could not find his way onto the field for consistent minutes.
He's
Find his body
he's
to
your
be
favorite
healthy.
player? I don't know if he's mine.
He's one of our favorite, let's call him Captain America, Mr. Christian Pulisic. He cannot stay at Chelsea. We've already said this.
Why?
He's got to find a way out of that
Why
club.
can't he stay?
Why can't he stay at that
Because he
club?
needs to
Fire
play.
sale! Fire sale! All players must go. I got him out here. I got a here. I got a
got a
Pulisic
Kai
over here. I got
Havertz
a
here,
Pulisic.
yeah.
Got a Pulisic. Got a Havertz. Got a Havertz. Got a Havertz.
Was that German he was speaking?
No. He
that's-
was pronouncing their names like an auctioneer, which
Yeah,
is
like an
pretty good,
auctioneer.
actually.
Oh, I got you.
It was actually really good.
Yeah, thank you. I have a hidden talent I didn't know about until I had too much sugar about 5 seconds ago.
I would say something. Okay,
High
anyway.
five.
Where do we believe Christian Pulisic ends up? The rumor this week is Juventus. We have actually mentioned Juventus in the past couple of months.
We have.
It is a very real possibility because, as we know, where there's smoke, there's fire. He could end up there. It's going to be interesting if his good buddy Weston McKennie stays or he leaves because he's being rumored to head off to Brighton. I think Brighton actually be a good spot for both of them.
Yeah, but and Weston wants to play European football, and Juventus is not there.
Correct. 'Cause
Juventus got
they
docked
lost all those
points.
10 points, and now they're
The
like,
final 2 weeks of the
Yeah.
season, they got docked points, so now they're down in seventh. They miss out on Champions League
Yeah.
soccer. Juventus are in Europa Cup. I think it'd be a great spot for both of them. Now it comes down to, what does Christian Pulisic want? Does he want to stay in England? Does he want to go to the South and play for a club like Brighton? Or I think big money comes calling and he does find his way to Newcastle. I think that's a very real possibility. But the chance to play for Juventus, the old lady is a big, big club, boys.
No, it is.
but the old lady's not going to Champions League.
Yeah.
She got left at the altar.
Now,
Yeah.
Christian Pulisic, I think, could earn more money at Juventus. And he's already won a Champions League title, by the way.
That is true.
So he could go and say, you know what? My game fits the Italian game. I want to play for this mega popular club. Very rich. They offer me more money. I can help get them back to the Champions
But
League.
is he a starter
I think
there?
I think it is. He
I've
a
been
star?
saying this
I think
for
he's
months.
a star. You have, and I'm giving you credit.
It's
You've
either
been saying it
Spain
for
or
months.
Serie A. It fits
I think
his
he
style.
fits. I think he fits better into
Serie A. 'cause
Serie A
it's
than he does La
tactical.
Liga.
So
I think the number one and number two spot is Juventus and Newcastle.
I'm not
I
questioning
think he
that.
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Brooks.
I think he goes to one of the Milans. AC or Inter.
No, the rumor is Juventus.
So my thoughts and theories are one of the Milans.
Okay. All right. Well, you're on record.
So
Nate.
here's
But I've
my-
been on record saying AC Milan.
Here's my thing.
I thought you were the one who said Juventus. A couple
I have before, but I've also said AC
And now that
Milan.
the rumors are there to go to
Inter
Juventus,
Milan.
you're changing it at the last minute.
No, I'm
Bizarre.
saying that one of those three Serie A teams are very
Okay.
possible.
All right, Nate, go ahead.
My only question is, does he start for which one of those Serie A teams does he really start for? Because you know what, Juventus has a couple of key players at that role. I don't know
Correct.
if he plays there, so then he's out there. Then if I look at Milan, right? Milan.
Which one?
Well, let's go with first one I pull up, the regular Milan, the AC
Mm-hmm.
that I wish we had here. You know, I don't know if he starts there either with what I'm seeing here as possible lineups outside back, and then Intra.
Outside back. He's going to play a winger.
Outside wing, sorry.
Yeah.
Then an Intra, maybe, but so for me it doesn't really matter. I'm not refuting, where he would be good at, if he would be good at Italy or not. The question I have is, and maybe Intra would probably be the best spot for him based on the age of some of these outside midfield players.
I think
I don't know if where is he going to start? Where is he going to play? Or don't get yourself.
Philip Hernandez says AC Milan or Real Sociedad makes the most sense.
Okay.
I think
that's. But here's the thing: a lot of these clubs now buy players because they want the player's home country to then buy in and support, and more jerseys to be sold.
And that makes sense for Italy because there's so many American owners.
Think of the Juventus jersey with Pulisic on the back, and how many of those get sold here in this country?
Think of the AC Milan or Inter Milan jersey with Pulisic on the back, because they're a lot of sellers too.
I do not see Real Sociedad as a real possibility either.
Probably not. I always thought Atletico Madrid maybe, but
why not Milan's?
Why
not? Why wouldn't you? Both those teams did fairly well in the Champions League.
Yeah.
They're
competitive.
Both those teams are returning, I believe, into the Champions League.
They are.
Yeah.
They are.
So why are they out, but Juve in? And both of them are highly
there's a lot of
successful.
Italian people in here in the country that like them too.
I will give you this.
Milan's a
because
major city.
As we started this segment out with Christian Pulisic, where there's smoke, there's fire. And if it is being reported by Fabrizio Romano that Juventus are interested,
Does that guy ever get anything right?
Yeah, never.
Okay.
There is a real possibility that they're behind the scenes are actually working on this now. And
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't surprise. Again, but I worry about him going to Juventus and playing an outside role because I think there are one or two players there that might be better than him.
I mean, I agree, but what I'm going to say, I think if he could stay healthy.
I don't think he plays anymore if he goes to plays more than he did much more than he did at Chelsea if he goes to another Premier League team. That's my opinion.
Yeah, and listen, I will say this: he has to be super smart on this because this is his last big move, in my opinion.
It's called don't rely on your agent. Make the smart move for yourself.
This is his last big move. At 24 and has been not healthy for a couple of years. You've got one more big move because if you go to a club
he's
and you
one
sit the
bad
bench,
move away from coming back to MLS.
Yeah, if you sit on the bench, you make a big move here, you sit on the bench and you go to the wrong club and you can't get off the bench and you're injured. Yeah, you're coming back to MLS when you're 27 and 28.
Yeah.
You are going to be just labeled as a kind of has-been or didn't make it. He needs to make the right move and make sure his body holds up. Nate, you were
So
gonna say
Raphael, so if you were to go to Juventus, all right, let's just look at this, right? You got a 30-year-old Filip Costa from Serbia, who's actually pretty freaking good, if you ask me.
Yeah.
All right, and
he's getting towards the end of his career.
He's 30 though. He's still pretty solid. I think he has another 2-3 more years. And then
is this Milan or Inter? AC or Inter?
Just Juventus. Sorry.
Oh, Juventus.
And then you have Federico Chiesa, 25, and I hope I pronounced that right. Probably not. Who plays on the right, and he's 25. He's not going anywhere.
Okay.
At least for a bit. And then if they want, well, he's on loan, but Keenan, Moses Keenan also can play on the left. Yep. So again, I'm looking at this going.
where does he fit in?
Is he a shoe-in there for minutes?
No,
I don't know if he is.
And Weston McKennie was never a shoe-in, to be honest with you. He was always in and out of the lineup.
Yeah,
you're right. You're absolutely right. Again,
that's why I go back to these American superstars that started in look at it. The only consistent one that started has been Tyler Adams. Anywhere he's gone. Think of everyone else. Paxton Aronson was starting, then he came off the bench. Christian Pulisic starts, and then he got moved to the bench, and he's been hurt or whatever.
But
and then Weston McKennie has been so off and on. I mean, let's be honest.
Christian Pulisic's the one who's we'll call it, has been to the biggest clubs. Juventus is a huge club, as I said. So Weston McKennie there, in and out of the club.
Serginho Dest has been in and out.
In and out. I mean, just in and out.
Robinson has been one of the consistent ones, along with
Tyler Adams. I mean,
Tim Ream's been consistent.
Let
me guess. If I gave you one, and you're like, I can live without one of these players in the starting 11, Adams or Pulisic, I can live without one of them in the starting lineup.
Right now or a year ago? Now that I've seen Adams in the Premiership.
Right now.
Now that I've seen Adams in the Premiership, I think he could fit into almost any Premiership team.
No, but if you're gonna in your U.S. men's national team, we have to go into the World Cup or anything. and we were like, who can I live with? Who can I live without in my lineup, Pulisic or Adams?
I can live without Pulisic right now in the U.S. men's national team lineup. Yes.
Yep, because Adams is a difference maker.
Yeah. But
That's why.
I don't think he's going to be stuck in the EFL. He's going to be stuck in the championship.
There's been rumors that people have been looking to move.
Until that happens,
And I don't think the
Right.
EPL is the right move for Adams. I think going back to the Bundesliga is a good
I
one.
disagree. I think he proved himself in the EPL.
I guess it
and
depends
there's
which
EPL
team you go
interest.
to.
He will get
I guess
into
it depends
any-
which team
any
you go to.
Premiership
Hold
team.
on.
If it's a top 4 team, no. But like maybe a Brighton and Hove or something.
Oh, I would take Tyler Adams to play for United.
They do want him, and Arsenal's talked
I
about
would
it.
take Tyler Adams to play for United.
I don't think he starts consistently.
No, he
at
would not
United,
start
though.
consistently.
I don't like that. I want him to start.
Well,
I think he went to Brighton and Hove
He's
Albion.
also-
I think he would start.
I don't think he would. He's also, what, 19?
No.
No, he's in his young 20s. He's like
23.
22, 23.
Yeah,
Dave,
I think
23.
So he's like next big contract
He
move,
would,
and then
he would be rotational for United. He wouldn't be a starter, but he would be rotational in the next year or two. He would be the starter.
Craig. So Philip Hernandez asked, "Does Tyler Adams at Aston Villa work?" Because they have been talked about McKennie.
Tyler Adams is 24. Listen, I would say I would like him there, but we've got some very good players in the center of the midfield that I don't think he could beat out. I don't think he beats out Douglas Luiz. I don't think he beats out Bouba Kamara. I don't think he beats out John McGinn. I don't think he beats out any of those players. I think it would be a poor move on Tyler Adams' part because he would not be starting consistently. That center midfield is what Aston Villa built their team around this year. So I don't think he beats out those players.
I think.
Unfortunately.
So walk with me on this.
Yeah.
You have a 31 Casemiro.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be 32 next year because that's how
That's how age works.
That's how
Yeah.
age works.
Yeah.
You're 24, Tyler Adams.
They're gonna get rid of Fred, right?
Fred's
That's already been talked
probably
about.
Gone.
Okay.
McTominay's probably gone.
Domine's
Yeah, they're gonna get rid of McTominay.
Sabitzer might stay if they can work that out.
Yep. Because that was a loan, right?
Yep. Erickson plays a different position.
Correct.
Fernandez can fit in there, but plays
Fernandez
a
can
little
Can play
bit
higher up the
position
field
He
too.
plays higher up the field.
Yep.
left.
Okay. Tyler Adams in a rotation within there, even if they get like a Mason Mount, which doesn't, and that's because
He's
I
higher
only-
up the
I only
field
said that
anyways.
because that's a rumor,
Yeah.
right? So I'm only throwing that in there because there's a rumor, and really it's pretty much what I understand is a done deal, so long as Chelsea doesn't try to get marquee dollar.
I think it's a great move. I think it's
So-
a great move for club and player.
I think that's a great move.
And you can get him for
And-
probably
and
about
you're in-
25
and
million.
you're in 4 competitions,
Yep.
and if this year proved
Mm-hmm.
anything, you're going to be in 4 competitions for a while.
Yeah.
Because they were. They're going to need that rotation. They're going to need to rotate those guys out. He's going to play.
Does Ten Hag need just a guy that breaks shit up like Adams?
That's what Casemiro
Yes.
does.
Yes, he does.
But he's
The
getting older.
The
That's
only
what,
difference.
That's your understudy, and you don't think that would be great for him
I can see that.
as
I
a
can see
U.S.
that.
men's national to go play under this guy or
can
with
see that.
this guy who is a club guy,
True.
who has a lot of passion and wouldn't mind taking. I don't think a Tyler Adams under his wing. Casemiro, who plays on a Brazilian national team,
Yeah.
who knows how to win with Madrid.
2 reasons why I don't want to see, or I don't think he goes to United.
Because you hate United.
One, I don't think he
Number
scores. I don't think he scores enough goals. I think United wants someone in that position who can score goals.
As a defensive 6?
That's what Casemiro does.
Exactly.
Casemiro scores goals. He scores some
only
big
because
goals.
only because we don't have forwards.
Okay, yes.
But I
Only
think they
because
want
there's-
someone.
No, seriously,
who
your
can-
point is right.
Because
No,
we
hold
have
on.
other players.
Get 2 forwards that can score. They have some goals from the
Just
wingers.
Forwards, yeah.
They have some wingers.
Hardest thing in the world to find to score a forward.
Let's go get yourself 2 forwards.
Just go find 2 forwards. Continue.
Who
Sorry, go ahead.
expects goals from their 6?
You expect him to chip in with 3 to 4 goals a year? No, I don't think Adams does that.
I think Adams could get 3 to 4 goals.
Okay,
Improve on
plus-
your set pieces and
plus-
get goals from your center backs, and then let just Adams just
I
go
don't
and
think
and
Adams
as
can
people.
be a goal
And actually,
scorer.
that's kind of a good point. Most of Casemiro's goals come
little bug there.
from set pieces. Whose headers getting up above people and
How many set pieces have the center backs scored on for Man United last year? Were there a number?
No, they did not. They were.
The game's changed. Like, there's not many like big center backs that score a lot of goals off set pieces anymore.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. But I do think they would like someone who can replicate what Casemiro has been doing. And I don't,
That's a
okay,
stretch, Craig. That's a stretch.
Again, I think it's a great move, but I don't think they go with it.
That's
I
a
think, I don't think
stretch
they go
to
with it.
ask him to do
You
that.
want you don't want him to you don't want your 6 to chip in with 4 to 5 goals a
No, I don't care. I want my 6 to break shit up and play through. That's all I want him to do.
What you just said is very old school to say. I want my 6 to break shit
Yes,
up.
Greg.
Sit back.
4-4-2, buddy. 4-4-2. We're breaking shit up.
Should your 6 not be moving forward and chipping in with goals?
No, he'll sit in front of the back line. You shoot the outside backs, and there you go.
That confuses me.
So,
Not Nate.
Here's my ending point on this.
Yeah.
If you look at even this year, the players who broke plays up and won tackles. I think Adams was number 1.
Yep.
Someone else is number 2. Casemiro was number.
He was
3.
top on defensive plays for mids. He was
So,
like top 5 for
yeah,
a lot of
and
categories.
Casemiro
And he
was
played like
right
half as many games as a lot of those other
And,
guys.
and Casemiro was right in there. So
Yes.
he might not have the attacking prowess as Casemiro yet, but that's where if he's already got the defensive prowess as Casemiro, then that's what we can work on.
Agreed. Agreed.
And that's my point. And that's why he's not a starter over him
Agreed.
this year.
Agreed. But I think there might be a 6 out there that isn't really we'll call it a project, right?
He's not a project. I wouldn't say he's a project.
I agree.
I would
He's
say
not.
on
He's
the
a different
offensive
type of
side, he's a
6.
project. Anyway. I think it's a good
okay,
move for
okay,
him.
let me-
I think it's a good move for him, but I
let me-
think United may not go
let me
for
take
it
that
because
walk
he
for
does
you.
not score the.
Let me take that walk with you.
Yeah.
Would you rather get a defensive mid that's less of an attacking project, right?
Oh,
Or,
I know.
or
no,
would
no.
you rather get a defensive mid that's
course.
more of a
You don't want an attacking. You don't want a
But
defensive
also-
mid that doesn't know how to play the
but
sport.
but also that also did it in your league.
Yeah, it's called defend.
is
of
he
mid.
good enough for United?
Yeah, I
Yes.
think he's good enough to play in that rotation.
It was-
Absolutely.
He
All
doesn't
right.
have to be the guy. He can
Again,
be
I said that.
role
I said it's a
player.
good idea for him to go there. But I'm giving you the other side that says United goes, well,
He's
we
a
are
low-
Man United.
I think he's a low budget, a very young, low budget
budget
option.
Very
that-
low budget
So hold on,
option.
like an Eriksson. That
Yes.
if it works, it works.
and you look brilliant.
But
And-
that's what I mean. If it worked, because Eriksson was for free
correct.
when they got him.
Whoa.
Philip Hernandez
We're
coming
gonna-
in.
We're
He
gonna
had no transfer fee.
hold on.
Yeah.
Before we jump into what Philip Hernandez said, sorry.
Yeah.
Eriksson was sought after by almost every
I
club
know.
in the world.
No, I know. I'm not saying that he wasn't.
Right.
But what I'm saying, he didn't cost you a transfer fee. And that's what I mean. Like Eriksson,
But you
it's
know-
not going to cost you. It shouldn't cost you a
knew-
lot.
You knew exactly what Eriksson was
Right.
bringing, right? Besides the heart
And I
stuff,
think you
right?
know what
Besides the
Adams
heart.
is bringing in because he's played in this league.
Of course.
Agreed. I think he's a great. It's a great fill-in as a
Adams,
rotation, but
Mount, Harry Kane. Those are
you
the
don't have enough
answers.
money to buy all 3 of those players.
So Philip
I
Hernandez
think
says,
it's a great idea to bring him in, but I think if
All
there's
3.
a better option, they would get a better option.
So Philip says a pivot of Casemiro and Adams with Mount and Bruno playing ahead.
a pivot of Adams and who? Sorry, Casemiro and
Casemiro
Adams.
says double pivot,
Yeah.
and then higher in the field is Mount and Bruno.
So you're gonna play those 4 in the middle, and
Yeah, but you can also play.
go split
We can
wide
play
left.
Bruno as a tucked in winger if you want to, or Mount because they've played that in the past as well, or he can play both as a 10. So there's a lot of options you have.
yeah,
A double pivot is interesting if Ten Hag wants to play that,
He's done it before.
which he has. So
yeah. I like the move. I think it's a good move. Again, I think he just may have to step up his goals per season. You
Might, but
would
I
like
think-
your 6 to chip in. Trust me. I'll tell you right now, we could go through 6s that start for Premiership clubs, and most of them will probably have anywhere from 3 to 5 goals. Adams did not for Leeds, and then he was injured. So
I don't
either
care
way.
about goals. If he's giving assists, I'm fine with that.
And I would tell
And
you
he's
that
breaking lines and
yeah,
he's
I
he's
would
finding.
tell you that
yeah.
it was mentioned earlier. Would he fit into the Villa squad? No, because we have players like McGinn who chipped in with 3 goals. Bouba Kamara chipped in, I think, with only 2 actually. Douglas Luiz who had like 4 or 5. Anyway,
But then
I
again,
think it's a good move for him. If it happens, if it comes off, we will see. It's going to be a very interesting offseason for U.S. men's national team players.
yeah, because
they
Aronson's
move?
got a release clause.
Eriksson,
Yeah.
Aronson.
yeah.
People forget that Ethan Horvath is actually owned by
Nottingham.
Forest,
So
but
is
he
he
was on
back to
loan to Luton, and he helped Luton
Yep.
get to the Premiership. At the
Zach Steffen wants to move.
Zach Steffen wants to move, but
Yeah.
Ethan Horvath actually at the the parade,
Mm-hmm.
the celebration said, "I would love to be here." So it looks like he's angling for a stay in Luton.
He'd be a
I
starter.
don't know if he's good enough for the Premiership.
Yeah, but it might be good enough for Luton.
Correct. They maybe don't want to spend a lot, and maybe
If
they'll
you have-
they'll
if you
build
have
in front
other
of him,
desires
put more
or other
center backs
issues.
and everyone. Yeah.
You know,
He ain't good enough for the Premiership, boys. Sorry. He might
How
stay there.
dare
I just
you.
don't think he's good enough for the Premiership, in my opinion. Good goalkeeper, third stringer, not good enough for the Premiership.
Fair.
Yeah, no.
I don't know. If you,
Top-
I'm interested to see if you build in front of him to see how it works, but you got to have a team that's going to cover ground and really defend.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. All right, we do only have 15 minutes left, Nate. I do want to make sure we get to Bundesliga chat time because there is a big game tomorrow. Your club, Stuttgart, are 3-0 up in the playoffs. You have got to be you got to be kind of little worried, but so like, all right, we're 3-0 up because let's remind people, if you're watching for the first time, the Bundesliga, what happens is the team who finishes 17th and 18th automatically relegated to Bundesliga 2. The team that finishes 16th goes into a playoff with the Bundesliga 2 team who finishes 3rd. Stuttgart finished 16th. They're in the playoff. They played last week. They won 3-0 away from home. Is that correct, Nate?
no, at home.
At home. So now they go away, and the game is tomorrow, 2:45 Eastern Standard Time kickoff. They're up 3-0 on aggregate. Your Stuttgart they are 1 foot into the Bundesliga right now. How do you feel?
I want to shit myself.
You're nervous, huh? You're nervous. They're 3-0 up. They're 3-0 up.
I don't.
You gotta be. You gotta be just loving it.
So
They're
let's
getting
rewind. Let's rewind.
better.
Let's rewind.
He's
to
got
the
some
easy-
nervous toots over
Oh
here.
my God.
Oh, jeez.
We'll rewind to the easy one, and then we'll go to the hard one. The one that doesn't mean anything. So the Polko was also this week, and RB Leipzig beat Frankfurt to win the second ever time Polko for their
Blah
club.
blah blah. Let's get to the playoffs.
They
We
won
love the
2-0.
playoffs.
Christopher Nkunku had a goal, and now he's off to Chelsea.
Chelsea's player scored a goal.
ruin his career.
Eh.
Which makes me sad because if he was going to any other Premier League club, he will do well.
It's
But
It's unfortunate he made that decision
going
in
to-
January
yeah.
to go to Chelsea.
But now he's going to that dumpster fire.
dumpster fire.
And we'll see how long Salazar stays on that team as well because he's sought after attacking mid and he had the second goal.
Yep.
So it was a good match. It was very even, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, let's go on to now the more interesting battle of relegation. So, yeah, Stuttgart needed to win big at home. They had
And they
to.
did.
And
They did. They
and
went
they
up
did.
3.
And honestly, not only did they win big, if you look at it statistically, and even just watching the game, they pure dominated. They pure dominated Hamburg. They pretty much walked them off their field. And if you look at expected goals, Stuttgart had 3.67 expected goals.
They were expected to score 3.6 goals in the game. Seriously?
Yep.
3.6.
3.6 based on the stats.
Didn't they?
And they had 3. They missed a penalty kick.
Did they not
They missed
tie
the
like a
kick.
ton of games this year, 1-1 or lose
Yeah.
1-0?
That was with their old coach. Their new coach has really got them on fire. And,
Okay,
and
all right,
honestly,
fair
they wouldn't be in the situation they were if they would have hired this guy when they fired the old guy.
Months
so,
and months ago.
Yeah,
not
Sebastian
the third
Hoyens
time,
is doing
not
very.
the third time of asking. Okay, onwards. Okay, so
And so
they
yeah,
got
the
3.
expected goals for Hamburg at the end of the game was 0.76. They total shots Stuttgart had 18 with 9 on target, and Hamburg had 7 with only 2 on target. They flat out dominated at home. What scares me is Hamburg is a very traditional team with a very big stadium, a very loyal fan base, and a very, very rowdy crowd. And yes, Stuttgart, I think that home field advantage in the beginning, how loud that crowd was, and I posted a video of that, of where you could hear them outside the stadium, that pushes and propels a team living on the edge. Hamburg is going to have that same thing. So I'm hoping they can get stuck in, hopefully get it 1 goal and just kind of just hold. If I wouldn't be surprised if Hamburg nicked in a few or even it went into
You know what? We're going to do right now what we did with Arsenal at around February. We're going to say, they're champions. Let's hand them the trophy right now. So, Stuttgart, congratulations.
Why do you?
Welcome back to the Bundesliga.
Why do you hate me? And actually, they technically never left the Bundesliga.
Well, I mean, they had 1 foot out with how shitty they played this year, and then they're in the playoffs.
So
congratulations, you're
again,
back in the Bundesliga.
Yeah, I hate you.
Yeah, I know.
Again, it was a very good game. It was a shame that Gurissier missed his penalty because then it would have been 4-0, and that was early on too. It was in the 27th minute, and that just would have padded the
Sounds
score.
like they recovered well, though.
Oh,
I mean,
and he came back and had a good goal, and Vertonghen had a goal as well, and so we'll see is the best way to put it, but it's going to be a very passionate game, and I would just say a 3-goal buffer doesn't mean it's great, but you're not out of the woods. You're not out of the woods because
Do the away goals like they count for more like the other one?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
all right, well.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's something we'll all keep our eyes on tomorrow. Stuttgart going at it again against Hamburg, the second leg.
Yes, Sosa is a baller, Philip, at wingback, and I'm surprised he's actually. No, Sosa is, with his age and his Croatian starting role in the national team, will probably end up in the Premier League sometime soon. I'm surprised.
No, not him.
Oh.
Just MLS chat time.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm
there
done.
yet.
I know.
Hold on.
I was just saying, Phillips made a comment about Sosa, who is the left back, who is phenomenal, and I was surprised that he stayed this year. I think he's gone after the season.
And you guys had a big signing this past week, did you not?
Well, we re-signed the Loney player,
Yep,
so
I
we
was saying
had that
you
Gerse.
signed officially the Loney
and he
player.
has, and that was big
Yep.
because he's had a majority of the goals for Stuttgart. So
I think it's big to sign him before you know you're 100% back in the Bundesliga.
I think it's big. It's a big momentum
business.
push
Mhm.
to give him
I agree.
the incentive to do well in those games.
Yep. All right, buddy. Well, good luck. I'm sure we will we'll be checking in on you tomorrow.
Nerves will be tingling.
Yeah.
2:45.
Yeah, exactly. 2:45. That's an ESPN Plus, I believe. Eastern Standard Time, that one. All right, Brooks. It is MLS roundup time. We've got a lot of MLS. Should we now go ahead, right before we start the chat, put up the table? You want to?
Yeah.
Let's put up the table, right? Oh, you know what?
Show my glorious
Hold on.
Cincinnati.
Before we put up the table real quick. How are we doing? How's LAFC doing in
Still 1-0.
Still 1-0.
Leon's winning.
3-1 on aggregate?
Yeah.
It looks like that one might be done
It's like
and
the
dusted.
85th minute. So
Done and dusted. Sorry about your luck, MLS and LAFC. All right, let's go ahead and put up the MLS table. There we go. Here's your Western Conference.
Yeah.
St. Louis City
Back on top.
Back on top. Explain to me why they've only got 14 games, Brooks, and Seattle 17.
Some have been for weather delay. They've removed a few, and then obviously, as you know, there's only 29 teams, so they can't play every week.
And LAFC, obviously, because they missed the first week due to weather delay against the LA Galaxy, and then they've been involved with in other competitions like the CONCACAF Champions League.
It's funny is my little brother was at the Austin FC game this weekend. There was a weather delay.
Whoa, in Austin,
Chicago Fire, Austin FC.
Yeah, Austin FC.
Yes.
Well, all right. So we got St. Louis atop the league, and they are a couple games behind. They're still 28 points. That's awesome for them. Down at the bottom of the table there after 15 games with only 3 wins and 12 points is the LA Galaxy, who this week got rid of Chris Klein officially.
Yep.
About time. Colorado also bringing up the rear there, and then Sporting Kansas City. Portland not doing so hot.
Yeah, Portland, but they did draw at Seattle, which is big. I mean, they got smashed by SKC 4-1 the other weekend, last weekend, and then the Cascadia rivalry, drawing 0-0 at Seattle is a big point right there. So, yeah, Portland just kind of in a mixture with some injuries and just kind of not playing very consistently right now. But I mean, you kind of look at that Western Conference table. I mean, you still got San Jose and FC Dallas kicking around. There's going to be a lot of movement. If there's always in the middle of the season. No, I mean, a couple of the top teams tend to pull away and kind of separate themselves, but there's always going to be a lot of bouncing up and down, and then, sometimes the bottom tier teams really start to separate themselves if they can't find wins, and that could be LA Galaxy, unfortunately, so we'll see what happens.
Yep, exactly. Let's go throw the
Eastern Conference
up there. Here we go, and
So
there it is.
Nate's FC Cincy's on top.
They are the Supporters Shield runners right now. Front runners with
baby.
39 points after 16 games, 12 wins.
Yeah, I know.
16 games is amazing. Only one loss.
Lucio Costa.
Nashville doing really well.
Yeah, man. Acosta's doing really well. Really playing that.
They're so screwed
offensive
if they
forward role
lose
well.
him for a
Oh, yeah.
sale or something.
Yeah, well, he's been huge. He was big at DC United when he first joined the league, and then it took him a little while to get back into it when he came back to the league. But yeah, no, FC Cincy doing well. I mean, Nashville in second place doing really well.
And then slowly but surely, Philadelphia Union climbing the board.
Yeah,
there,
climbing a
week
bit.
after week.
Yeah, you know, they're doing well. They found form again. Columbus jumped back up the table. They were towards the bottom there, and now they're in fifth. You know, the two at the bottom right there, actually the three if you think about it. NYCFC, who are playing younger players this year. I think I saw a graphic that said NYCFC have like the second or tied for the youngest like team they put on the field. Whereas it's vice versa for like a few other teams at the top of the table. Nashville's toward the older end, but you know that bottom. Listen, you can see. You already saw, so the bottom tier two teams right there, Miami and Chicago, they've already fired their coaches this year. You could see probably if Chicago finishes at the bottom of the Eastern Conference, doesn't make the playoffs, you could see some front office decisions and firings and removals being made with that. Miami, I don't think they're going to do that because this Chris Henderson just started like last year with them. So that came over from the Seattle Sounders. So it'll be interesting to see what will happen. And
Inter Miami obviously fired Phil Neville this past week. David Beckham had to have that tough conversation with a good friend of his and fired Phil Neville. Said thank you for the hard work. It hasn't worked out. See you later. We are moving on. They out of 16 games, 11 losses, 0 draws, and it's either great or terrible with them. 5 wins.
It didn't help with all the stuff they've had to face with the reduction of
when they got caught cheating.
McDonough and all those guys. You know,
it's been a tough go.
It is, and finally next year's when they can change a bit. I mean, if I was another MLS team looking for a coach, you know, why wouldn't I want to give Phil Neville a shot? He didn't really. I would say he did darn well the best he could with what he had at Miami. It's just, you know. You need a little more. You can't. And it goes to show you they had a lot of college players, and you can win when you put college players in certain spots, but you can't rely on them. You need internationals mixed with some seasoned players, and then you know.
All right. So last piece on Major League Soccer here, MLS Roundup. Brooks, out of this table, besides FC Cincinnati, who have just been cruising along this surprise of the season, really, who's the biggest surprise besides them that you see on this Eastern Conference side?
I'd say DC United. I think Wayne Rooney's really turned that around. That's a club that's always had a lot of issues and troubles in the past, and they can never
really figure it out.
Well, they don't pay their. It's not the best paying job, you know. I mean, like you know, Ben Olsen sat in there for a very long time, just kind of like he was the man of DC, and you know he wasn't getting huge bumps, and they weren't going crazy and paying guys a lot of money to coach and players to bring in, and you know Wayne Rooney's done a pretty good job, and to have him in that 7th spot and them being competitive and doing well, you know, I think that's a surprise right there at the 7th spot right there.
I like that answer. You know, I think the funny thing is I think Wayne Rooney's actually proving himself to be a decent manager. He did it at Derby County. He got them relegated, unfortunately, because of a point deduction, which was not his fault. He did very well. If it wasn't for the point deduction, they would have finished in the top half of the table, I believe. He is proving himself to be a very good manager, and he came over to the MLS to really try it out, and he's doing all right, man.
Are we going to quickly just go over U.S. U20s?
Yes, I do want to talk about U20s who got ousted today by Uruguay in the quarterfinals. Uruguay always have a strong team, always have young, strong teams. It's unfortunate, man.
Yeah, it's just with that U20 team, it's the problem I always run into, and I've told people about, it's like the teams, when they get really tough competition, it's like it's a whole other game to those kids and the players for some reason. And that's the 17s, the 18s, the 19s, the 20s, and the 23s. You know, it's all the way up until finally you get to, you know, the senior team where they start to get competitive and whatnot, and they start to realize as they play more pro games. But it was just tough. They had their chances. The first goal was a good goal by Uruguay. The second one, unfortunately, was an own goal by Josh Winder. You know, tried to clear the ball. He came across, slid across, and it deflected off him, and it slipped past Gaga, which I think Gaga should have made the save, to be honest with you. I think it went slow enough.
That's weird. You being critical of Gaga again?
I know, right? Always. But it's really tough for me to see, honestly, like, defenders, I think Brandon Craig will be one you want to watch, you know, coming up, you know, through the ranks. And I think, you know, he's looking to move over to Europe. And I think that could be a center back you could see, you know, jump into the national team, you know, maybe not in 2026, but, you know, it's some, one for the future. And, you know, Winder's not bad. But just the lack of just goal scoring in final third play, it's just astonishing. You know, it's like we've had MLS academies for a while, and I get we're still pretty young, but it's just,
Again,
it's just lacking some stuff.
This
like
is what Eric
small
Wynalda
things.
was talking about.
Yeah.
The lack of guys who can take people on and finish.
Yeah.
This is American soccer now.
Taking
It's
guys
the
on
lack
is
of,
yeah.
and you would have thought people like Cade
Cowell.
Cowell.
Yeah.
He could do it because we saw him in a couple of the games in the friendlies.
But you know what's funny with Cade Cowell is the teams just start to bunker in centrally, and he just tries to cut in. He has nowhere to shoot.
Yeah, he's young. It's going to take him a little time to get there, but this is American soccer. We lack the goal scorers.
We don't need that. We'll just go buy him from somewhere else.
Well, that's why
end the show on
Balogun-
that.
That's why Balogun's coming in, right? We'll see how it works out. But yeah, unfortunate for the U20s as their World Cup comes to an end and they lose to Uruguay.
One thing just to finish is like I thought the midfield play was good. I thought Josh Wolfson Owen is a very tenacious midfielder. I think you will see him at some point go over to Europe. I think he will. Okay. He's kind of very tenacious like Tyler Adams, but I think a little more technical.
Yeah.
So I think he's one to watch for. McGlynn, he's too. I don't know if he's an overseas guy. I would rather, I think MLS is his, or like a lower league, like overseas in Europe would probably suit him better. Obed Vargas, he didn't have a great game today, but he's one at 17 years old. He's been doing well for Seattle, so keep watching him and following him. We have some interesting midfielders coming through now, and I think that makes it really interesting. On a side note, just before we end, is Aiden Morris is American and Canadian. He may go try to play with the Canadian team for the Nations League.
Whoa.
You're cut from our hearts. Get out of here. I don't care about you anymore.
And I think that's a mistake because
Canada sucks and Tim Hortons is swell.
I think
Agreed.
the U.S. men's national team need to make some midfield decisions, and I would honestly, I don't like Luca De La Torre, and I don't like some other guys in there. I would take Aiden Morris over De La Torre any day, so... All
right, well, we'll keep our eyes on that. Obviously, the U20s ousted there, 2-0 in the hands of Uruguay, but got some good players, as Brooks said, so we'll keep our eyes on that. All right, we are going to wrap it up. I do want to say a big thank you to Soccer World, soccerworld.net for all your soccer gear needs. Next level training. Guys, get your kids into their summer camps before they are filled up and gone. Get your kids in. Next level training, summer camps. They are huge. Trust me, they are so awesome. My kids absolutely love it. Thank you to Dog and Pony Show Brewing. Remember, Champions League final on the 10th of June. That's 6 days away now. 3 p.m. kickoff. We will be there. Come and join us for that watch party. We will love to see you out there. Maybe I'll pour some beers for you. We'll see. Thank you to the Michigan Jags. Next weekend is tryouts. This upcoming week, open training. Visit them. You can visit them at MichiganJaguarsFC.com for all that information. Guys, appreciate you joining. Thank you. Brooks, Nate, as always, boys, well done, and we will see everybody next week.